Hey, it's September the 1st. It's Tuesday. It's the Giant Bombcast. I'm Brad Shoemaker. How's it going? Jeff Kurtzman's here. Jason A. Striker's here. Janet is here.
Holy September.
Is that a
happy holy September?
Yes.
Have a happy and holy September.
That's how
we made it.
That's
we
the
made
Namaste.
the classic Christmas carol.
Oh yeah.
Have a happy
September.
Yes. Jan, is that a top nod?
Does
that qualify as a top nod?
It's like a 3/4.
Okay.
Like it looks.
Yeah, I'm just like spilling out the back here.
Okay. I like it.
I couldn't get like it tucked in. It just keeps popping out. I've been thinking about like again, I'm thinking about getting a 3D printer because I want to make the hair emblem stuff from the Last Airbender.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That the Fire Nation would use, and just like start rocking that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
you could demanding my honor.
Could print out a little bone and do like a Pebbles Flintstone kind of thing.
Oh, I like that idea too.
That would work.
I like
What if
that
you just
idea,
go
too.
out and get yourself a bone?
Right.
Or a real bone works, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all these things are probably outside right now.
What kind of bone would you put in your hair?
Oh, like a good drumstick.
Like a rib or something?
Ooh, not a rib. You need the
You need like
you
the,
want
things at the end. So
Yeah.
like a femur or something.
Oh,
Femur.
sure. Sockets on the end, kind of.
Yeah.
How's the home life treating everyone these days? I haven't looked at the air quality today. Let's check in on that.
You check in on that. I don't know. Like I was telling Jan earlier, something is messed up with my taste buds and my like nose. When the air quality got really bad, I couldn't smell the smoke. But my wife came in and she was like, "Can we shut the windows?" And I'm like, "Why? What's the matter?" She's like, "Look outside." And it was just completely like we were in a cloud of smoke, and I could not smell it.
Yeah.
My shit's fucked up.
Yeah. It's been real bad up here. Off and on. Well, it's been bad up here. Like it's even when it gets good, it's still kind of bad. And now I'm starting to wonder, like, is there just smoke in the house that I need to pump out when the air outside is okay? Like just open everything up and air it out.
That's what we did.
Whatever.
It's been so back and forth here. Like it was in the green for like 3 days last week, and I was like, all right, well, they contained it. We're good. Here we are. But now it's like back in the orange here again today.
Ours is like by the hour. It changes, because all the things that are reporting at a daily rate are reporting from a different town than this one. So they're just like, it's moderate or it's fine, and I'm like looking outside and like, it's the end of the world outside. This is horseshit. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so I've turned to open source local sensors. There's a few pretty close by that are they're plotted on a map. You can get one $200 right now. You can be on that map, and so that way, like, I can get a real time reading of like what the fuck's going on right now. It's like, oh, it's low. Okay, open the windows real quick. Oh shit, it just got bad. Close all the windows. And so that's just like an insane game. But then that's the only thing that lets you see like, oh, it's like in the 300s right now. And that's bad. So I've been like a fucking fugitive for like the past week or whatever it is. Like we got fucking Airbnb scammed. We got this. It's been a fucking, it's been one of the weirdest weeks of my fucking life. So we hit the road. The air got up to into the 300s, and it's just it was black out there. It was just nighttime haze or something. That was what, last Sunday, whatever it was. I was like, okay, we need to get the fuck out of here. Okay, let's start looking around. Let's see if we can find what's the closest place we can go where the air is good. And started looking around different places, and everything was looking real shitty until you get to like San Diego or something. Like, okay, well, that's too far. What about north? And you start looking like Eureka and stuff like that. And it's like there was some hotels up there. And you're like, I don't want to stay in a fucking hotel. I don't want to catch something off people, especially one of them was a casino. Was like, I'm not going to go to some hotel casino. But then at the moment, I was like, but they would have steaks. And I had that moment of just like, we went to a casino, get a bunch of prime ribs or something. So we ended up just quickly finding an Airbnb that was like, it was sketchy going in, but we reached a point where we had to know because we were getting videos from the lady that was running it that was like, sorry, I can't take any more pictures right now because, and she panned the phone down and just had a open, like recently stapled like wound on her leg. She's like, I just had leg
Jesus.
surgery. I'm like, well, we have to stay here. I have to know. And we get there, and it was like there was like a mattress on the floor. Like it was like it was fucked. It was like we are in the middle of like clicking the button marked involve Airbnb in this process because it is not going to get resolved. So we were there for like 20 minutes. We're like, we can't fucking stay here. The front fucking door would not lock. So it was like,
what?
Like, okay. So I'm I get there and I'm like, okay, am I gonna have to sleep up against this door in case this is like a fucking robbery scam? Like someone's gonna bust in this door and do some shit. I'm like, okay, no, we can't. So we ended up, we can't stay there. So we were there for all 20 minutes to like feed the baby and look around and go, fuck. And then got out and started calling around for like hotels and stuff. We were in a pretty small area, found a place that was like an inn with like 3 rooms and no one was in any of them, and stayed there, and then ended up upgrading from it was like a romantic getaway type place. And we're there with a baby, and she's sleeping and it's like it's going okay, but it's like it's one room that we got into the room, the baby went to sleep, and we realized like, oh shit, none of us ate, like we forgot to eat, so the baby's asleep now. We can't like use this kitchenette to heat up food because the baby will not go back to sleep. And so we was like, okay, we probably need a bigger room. And they're like, oh, we have one bigger and we'll give it to you at a discount. It's normally $1,500 a night. Like, oh, that's a lot of money. They gave it to us for significantly less than that. Okay. Way less, like not a third, like way deep discount. We're like, okay, let's check this place out. Walk in there. It's a 2-story loft thing with a gigantic. There's knight's armor everywhere. There's a pool table. It's this insane, and they're billing it as like, come here for business meetings and all this other stuff. But the place has like no internet, and that suite had like 2 beds, so it slept 4 people, and both those beds felt like rocks. So we ended up sleeping on the couch, which the couch was like the most comfortable sleep we'd had in a long time. So this insane turn of events of just like, all right, well, we need to figure out how to get this money back from this Airbnb thing, because this is like, you're looking at it like, okay, the address on the listing is different than the address we were told. So on top of that, this is probably a rental that's being illegally listed on. Anyway, I don't know the exact situation with that, other than it was not a safe place to stay, and we didn't stay. But the other place was fucking insane. And it was like cliffside on the coast and all this really sleepy. It was just crazy. The craziest, just hard swings, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And then we got back and the smoke here had seemed better. And then the very next day it hit in the 300s again. I was like, fuck.
So, I don't know how it came back. I thought, well, whatever. Fires get worse before they get
better.
The
winds change. There are multiple fires too, so I think the smoke we're getting here, I think, is from the Santa Cruz or like the South Bay fires now, or there's one in Point Reyes, which is like Point Reyes, if you want to be technical. They're like more coastal, so I think that's the smoke we're getting here now. I'm not sure.
Apparently blowing halfway across the country.
Will
I heard
Smith Kansas.
Saying, like a friend of his in Chicago said that they were getting traces of our smoke out, like noticeable smoke as far as Chicago.
Yeah,
it's bad.
It's fucking bad. So we got back and I was like, okay, well, we still like, I can't, like, I'm having a hard time here now. And the baby was coughing, my wife was like on the verge of throwing up, like, so I got them out of here yesterday. And I was like, okay, you need to go stay with family and get the fuck out of the area. So I took them yesterday to go do that, and then turned around and drove back. And now I'm here in the middle of all this smoke with a air purifier sitting right behind me here.
We've got that one too.
Yeah, it's doing all right.
I think it's the same one. It's the one with it's loud as fuck when it spins all the way up.
Yeah, when you get it going, it gets going. I got it on 2 right now.
It's got the blue. What is it? Blue, purple to red is the 3 tiers of air quality.
Yeah, which sucks because I can't see the difference between blue and purple. So I just look at it and go like, looks okay. And when it turns red, then I know like, oh shit.
The thing seems legit. We named ours Fabio.
Nice. So check this shit out. I saw the fucking crazy. All that shit, whatever. That's crazy. Some shit happened. It was a wild time. But I saw the craziest shit I have ever seen in my life last night. Yeah. I'm driving back from Southern California. I'm going up Grapevine, right? Big hill, come down the other side. When when I get there, there's like a stalled big rig. So 2 lanes blocked, half hour of additional traffic. This is like 8 o'clock, something like that. I don't know, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. It's getting late, and I'm trying to drive all the way home. I'm going, this is a fucking bad. This plan just got bad. So we're going about 4 miles an hour. Stop and go, all this other stuff. And it's starting to pick up a little bit, but not too much. And there's 1 lane on my left, 2 lanes on the right. Trucks all on the right of me. Cars on the left. And there I am.
Stuck in the middle.
And then the sickest thing I've ever seen on the perfect week to see it, a minivan comes passing by. Dude fucking skitching on the side. They had the fucking side door open, and he was on the other side skitching on it. Up fucking Grapevine, going like 5 miles an hour. and they went right past me. and they kept going. They were gone. And then the fucked up thing is, like, they were gone. Like he skitched away, and then the traffic let up. Like, we were past the traffic, so everyone suddenly started hauling ass. And I'm like, oh my god, is that guy gonna fucking die? And I never saw him. Like, I assume if he had died, then there would have been more traffic, right? Like, people would have stopped for a dead skitcher, or at least tried to, or I would have run over the body. Something would have happened. Right. I would have seen it. So I assume he fucking worked his way back around to the other side of the van and got in as they realized that, oh shit, everyone's about to start doing 70 again, or whatever. But it was in the week that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 is scheduled to come out.
Appropriate.
It was a true blessing, and
they're going hard with that viral marketing.
Yeah, one of the sickest things I have ever seen.
That's that sounds like a man who took a look around at his surroundings and was just like, you know what, I'm going to ride the ship all the way down.
Exactly. Just said, you know what,
going down with the ship.
Exactly.
Fuck
I got to, and I'm going to live while I'm doing it. It was just tremendous. Yeah. Just tremendous.
It's a strange time out there.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Looks like, for people watching live, it looks like there is something of a major Twitch outage taking place at the moment, so apologies to anybody trying to tune in, although if you're hearing this, you're not affected, so whatever, I guess.
Congratulations.
Good on you.
Yes. Yes, welcome back, and I guess let's talk about stuff. I don't know. Life is very strange right now.
Yeah.
I have a stack of news here, and I figured we'd start with that.
Okay. Some hot news.
Yeah, there's not a ton of new games to talk about yet, because the big releases of the week are backloaded in the week and not available yet.
Yes.
But there's a bunch of news here. So let's get into that stuff first. God, I don't even know where to start. Like, I've got new console news, but then NVIDIA announced their new graphics cards this morning, and
oh boy.
Apple terminated Epic's developer account, and Ubisoft's up to some shit again.
Oh, man.
Ubisoft's at it again.
And the Monster Hunter might be coming out on the Switch, and Flambeer shut down.
Yes.
So,
whoa.
Okay. All right. There's news for you.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, that was the news segment, everybody.
So, hey, are these graphics cards going to be good or expensive or both, or what the fuck is the deal? All I saw, I woke up and you know, I didn't wake up, but I didn't see any of it, but I just saw people on Twitter talking about dude pulling a graphics card out of an oven, and I said, well, it's probably a pretty hot card then.
Yes, the CEO of NVIDIA did the thing from his kitchen, which looked like a very nice kitchen, unsurprisingly, and he pulled the 3090 out of his oven.
Okay.
He implied that it had been baking for a while.
Okay. Follow-up question. What type of oven was it? Was it like the vertical pull doors, or like the classic?
It was kind of out of frame, but it looked like it was a vertical, like, or not vertically oriented doors, but the type that the door swings down vertically.
Swings down.
Just
okay.
Kind of pretty standard.
Okay.
Very nice. He had some weird ornamentation behind him. You should go look that up. He had like some kind of relief on the wall behind the stovetop, like a sculpture. It looked like a very nice house. NVIDIA is worth more than Intel now, if that tells you anything.
Was it real or was it rendered with RTX?
I don't know. That could have been. Yeah, they announced and I think this is rolling out to all RTX cards. They've got like AI-driven like background fake green screen stuff coming out for NVIDIA cards now, like real-time blurring of background, but also just replace it with a 3D scene.
Just practical stuff that everyone needs, I guess, now.
Here I am in my gamer chair floating in space.
Finally.
Yeah. And I think that, like I said, I think that's rolling out to all existing RTX cards as well. All right. Yes, they are very fast. No, they are not that expensive except for the expensive one.
Okay.
Okay, so like the 3090 is
so they appear to be doing away with the TI branding entirely and just sticking to numbers just to make things simple.
Smart.
Sure.
So it is. Did they announce the 3060? I didn't get to watch the whole stream because I was getting ready for the show. I don't think they announced a 3060 as of yet, but I think those are kind of the entry level part that usually comes a little bit later. They announced 3070, 3080, 3090.
Okay.
3090 is basically taking the place of the former Titan, or like, the super high end.
Oh, so that's not even like a fucking realistic car. That's like for lunatics then.
Sure.
Because I feel like the Titan was always like the fucking, you got too much money.
Yeah, but I think those things were usually well over like $2,000, if I'm not mistaken, in the past.
Yeah, usually.
But the 3090 is a 3-slot card. It's got a 3-slot cooler.
What?
Yeah, it's big.
Oh no.
The TDP, the TDP on these cards is immense. That's the power draw / like heat dissipation rating. The TDP on the 3090 is 350 watts.
Oh shit!
So like
Holy
significant.
So like, and that's at full load. That's that's the most it can draw. But if you think about like what kind of power supply do you have? Like I've got a 750 watt.
750, yeah.
I've got I've got an 850 in my server machine because I can see that from here.
Yeah.
But I think
like
I have
you're almost certainly fine with something in that range.
Yeah.
But you can just do the math there. That's a lot of fucking powers.
Wow.
So let's see. Like the big thing to know is just like the first gen RTX cards, the 2080 etc. cards were like they were a big feature upgrade because they added all the ray tracing stuff and like other AI driven anti-aliasing and all that stuff. But they were not much of a performance upgrade.
It's true.
And so this is just the other shoe dropping. It's basically these don't seem to add a ton of new features, but they are dramatically faster than the previous gen.
So this was probably where we get to like 4K 60 with ray tracing and like all that sort of stuff then if they're
nice. Okay.
They were claiming
not more.
They're claiming up to 2x performance increase in some situations. They're saying the 3090 can run 8K 60.
I don't have anything in my house that'll go.
And I'm sorry, how much was the 3090?
So the pricing, the 3090 is $1,500. So that's like pretty. I mean, it's not as much as a Titan in the past, I don't think, but it's still pretty fucking expensive. But
that's not like that far off from I think what I paid for a fucking 2080 Ti.
2080 Ti was like $1,200 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But I think the real story is the pricing on the others. A 3080 is only $699.
Okay. Okay.
I think cheaper than the 80 cards have generally been in the past.
Yeah.
Which says
shit.
So it's $499 for a 3070 and $699 for a 3080, and honestly, that says to me that they are wary of whatever AMD has on the way. Finally, because like AMD had kind of established like, hey, we're going to try to make reasonably priced cards that are like a good like power per dollar, right? I mean, I think so. Kind of where they were at. AMD has not been that competitive in the PC graphics card space for a while, but. I mean, the big thing to know there is that AMD's new graphics architecture, RDNA 2, which is what's in the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, it is assumed that PC versions of that will be on the way in the somewhat near future, although people don't seem to know exactly when, but this is pretty aggressive pricing by NVIDIA's standards because they've been in that space. They've been in that space like Intel for a while where they had no real legitimate competition, so they could kind of charge whatever they want. Yeah. And now it looks like they are maybe not sweating necessarily, but they're like, let's price these to move. So in case that AMD comes out of the gate swinging. And then what was the deal? I saw there was like a Microsoft blog post in conjunction with this talking about the like direct storage or the like that. Are these graphics cards going to take hard drives? I didn't get a chance to look into that stuff. I think it's going to use the same format that the Xbox Series X is going to use, and what is it? The Velocity Engine or something like that? What are they calling it? Maybe not quite that, but something along those lines. I saw some scuttlebutt about that. I did not get a chance to follow up on that, so I'm not sure. I think the idea that now we're going to hook a hard drive up to
and this
a graphics card directly,
hard drive. Just for the graphics card, right?
I don't know. We'd have to read up on it a little more. Yeah. But anyway, yes.
As someone fairly new to PC stuff, is slapping a hard drive onto a graphics card
that's
a thing?
Not a thing.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what's up with that. I'll have to look into that. But
Okay, maybe it's not hooking it up. Okay, people are saying like you can just do it PCIe. It's not hooking the drive up to the GPU. Says Bogard in the chat. It's just direct access to the storage from the GPU.
Okay,
So maybe like just a faster pipeline.
But both going over the PCIe bus, I guess.
Yeah.
Without going through the CPU, I would guess is what they're talking about there.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I think I'm really getting out of my depth here, but I think once you're doing that, you're talking about like direct memory mapping of like graphical assets from the super fast storage straight to the card. I could be wrong. Anyway, whatever.
Which is more or less what they're trying to do with the consoles. So
yes, that is my understanding. But
so like that's going to have to happen on PC anyway, soon enough. So that's
so 3080 is out on the 17th. The 3090 is out on the 24th. The 3070 will be out next month. So starting to roll out pretty soon. I mean, who knows what the quantity will be, but these things are quite fast, and also quite large and power hungry.
Yeah,
but seems like pretty good stuff.
That's cool.
It's just
seems great.
Pretty much just faster version of what's been out there for the most part. But.
Yeah, but like being priced like relatively. I was gonna say reasonably, but that's still a lot of fucking money. But being priced in that way instead of what these cards were last generation, that's kind of wild. And maybe that'll see like a greater adoption. I'm sure there are a lot of people on 10 series cards and maybe even 9 series cards and stuff like that.
The tone of that presentation, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but at the end, the CEO was like quite literally like, my Pascal friends, Pascal being the 1080 generation, he was like, it's safe to upgrade now. Like he quite literally said that. Like,
I mean, the 20 series cards were like you said, here's the feature update, but like it doesn't always run great. Like I've got a 2080 Ti. It's a hell of a card, but it's the ray tracing stuff feels like sometimes you're making some sacrifices.
It's very taxing.
When you turn all that stuff on. Yeah. So if you can get past that end of it, then more developers will take advantage of it. All that other stuff, like that's what leads to more games supporting ray tracing. That and when the consoles start doing it more, like that's something that just gets baked into all these multi-platform ports and all that other shit. And so that's pretty exciting. I don't know. Like that's fucking cool. Like I don't know. I might
like a 3070 being $499 is kind of wild.
Yeah, that's
because it seemed like they were trending in the other direction on that stuff. So it's good to see that.
But I wonder, like there's probably still some case to be made for like, hey, if you are still rocking like a 1080 or something like that, I wonder, are you also rocking a CPU that might need more attention first, or something like that?
Sure.
Like, would that be the upgrade?
Yeah. If you're still playing games at 1080p, it's possible that 1080 is going to be fine for a while yet.
Maybe, yeah.
It's hard to say. That card, I think, is like that card has maybe punched above its weight class more than like any graphics card in history. I think.
Yeah, that 1080 is
that's what I'm still on one, and it's basically fine.
It's a good ass graphics card.
Yeah, it had longevity for sure. So that stuff's coming soon. I think they put out a tech demo that I haven't gotten to see yet, but I love tech demos, so I'm gonna have to go find that later. All right. From next gen graphics cards to next gen consoles, some stuff's going down. This is not like a huge story. I think just about anybody could have predicted this stuff, but Video Games Chronicle, who is affiliated with Eurogamer, is out there with an analysis citing how did they phrase it? Retail and development sources. Is how they phrase who they have been talking to about this stuff. The big stuff is that they say that they are hearing that Sony has booked a big marketing spend starting Friday, November 13th.
Okay.
So they are guessing, and they've heard some other stuff from development sources as well that would line up with that stuff. So they are predicting that the PS5 will be somewhere in that week.
Right.
Okay.
Like possibly the week after, I would guess. Like maybe that's a week-long media blitz leading up to a launch, I would guess, is what they're saying.
That would make sense.
But so they seem relatively confident that the Series X will be launching first.
Okay.
And that
I feel like Microsoft said they weren't going to get beaten, or was that just on price? But I feel like on price and date, they were just like, we're not going to lose that fight.
As far as release window, they had just said committed to November.
Right, but I feel like even before that, like last E3 or something like that, that there was, just kind of loosely saying like, oh, like, hey, we want to be first to market. Hey, we don't want to be more expensive. Like, the stuff they did wrong on the Xbox One, the stuff they did wrong on the original Xbox, the stuff they did right on the Xbox 360. Probably would looked at that, so like, oh, right, yeah. If we're first, then people just buy it because they can't buy the other thing. And then they already made the choice. Great. I feel like that's pretty no-brainer type stuff. But yeah, that's also that lines up the 13th or whatever that stuff lines up with. If that like November 6th-ish date for the controller displays is accurate.
Yeah. They also let me find the quote here. They pretty much attribute the lack of information about release dates and prices and stuff to the pandemic in this. Like, that's what they're hearing, is that's at this point the biggest reason that they are being so reluctant to get out there with pricing and release date information is there's just too much uncertainty about what they can fulfill and that kind of thing. So
okay.
Well, so I'm sure you talked about this last week, and I'm sorry to retread it, but like, what the fuck is Sony doing with this like pre-order it from us like website thing without giving any details? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what half step, like, oh god, we're getting up against it, we need to start doing something here to start selling these things, but we sure don't want to announce any actual hard details,
right?
And you can get 2 cameras. Like, what, like, it just seemed like at the time it was just crazy. You just look at it and go like, all right, this is so broken. I mean, at that point it kind of has to be the pandemic. Like, that's more than just like fear of what the competitor is doing. That's like, hey, there's so much crazy shit going on right now. I wonder, like, that's we don't know, but like, what has to be up in the air for them to not announce this sort of stuff? Obviously, like, the Halo thing was what it was and all that, but like, on a hardware level, is it just like, oh, logistically, how many can we get here? How many can we safely transport to retail or ship around? Or is retail even open? Like, I wonder if it's like those sorts of logistics.
Yeah, because it was reported a while back that they were pretty confident about supply chain and manufacturing capacity. Like, they were going to be able to make the boxes. It sounds like this is more about, exactly, getting them to market. Like, there is a quote in here.
What does a channel look like these days? What does the retail channel look like when all these places are open and closed, open and closed?
This is, I believe this is Daniel Ahmad, Twitter's own favorite analyst, speaking
Twitter's
here.
own poster of many copies of the same video game.
Yes. I believe this is him speaking here. Production for both consoles began at the end of June in order to meet demand for the holiday launch. So yeah, and then he goes on to talk about issues with logistics of shipping them around and all that stuff, but they have been making them for some number of months at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, dates.
And both sides have actually come out and said that, they're not worried about, fulfilling demand, right?
Yeah, like the last capacity on the Sony front that was reported was that they had upped the order significantly.
Yeah.
They were planning to make and ship like several million more than they had originally planned on. So
that's why the pre-order for the pre-order thing is just kind of baffling.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Huh, it
doesn't sound like supply is going to be a huge problem.
But like, I guess like that's maybe they have to open a channel of their own to sell them directly, because that's what that is, right? It's like buy it from Sony.
Is that what it was?
Right.
I guess it would have to be, because how else could they be running that effort if they weren't the ones taking the orders, right?
Right. So is it a situation where you're like, okay, like we're launching consoles and GameStop, maybe, we don't know, but like I assume GameStop is not in great shape, right? That was true before the pandemic, and now I can only imagine that's gotten worse. Yeah. So maybe they're just not in a position from a credit perspective to take on a bunch of those things or pay for a bunch of those things up front to sell them. And so maybe it's just a case of like, okay, well, we can only get Targets and Walmarts and all these other mainstream places to take so many, but we know we're going to make more of those, and we know demand will be more than that. So what do we do? Maybe that's the problem. I'm just fucking spitballing. I don't even know, but like, maybe in a world where like any game specific retailer is probably feeling a very hard hit with the rise, the increasing rise of digital consumption and all this stuff affecting their business. Like maybe they're just not in a position to really attack a console launch the same way that they would have 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Strange. Fucking every single story could just be ended with strange times.
Yeah, strange times, my man. Strange times.
So yeah, that's still kind of fuzzy dates, but it sounds like Xbox first, PS5 second, probably 1 to 2 weeks apart, which I think is pretty much exactly how PS4 and Xbox One went. Sony's also out there with their kind of annual corporate report on revenue and typical messaging to shareholders, which for one thing has revealed that the PlayStation business is now the most valuable business inside of Sony Corporation.
Really?
Wow.
But also within that there is, and it's not super direct, but there is some more indication in there that they are going to continue pushing PlayStation exclusives to PC. Targeted outcomes include growth in active users, stronger retention, and a shorter cash conversion cycle, from which expanded cash flow can be expected. We will explore expanding our first-party titles to the PC platform in order to promote further growth in our profitability.
They should explore making that Horizon port good, right? I mean,
better,
that thing sounded like it was
it had
pretty
some
rough.
Launched with some issues for sure, but I mean, they've kind of tempered some of this stuff recently, saying like, hey, we're not going to start putting our exclusives out day and date on the PC or anything like that, but you could see some more of this, like, what if they put out like a Spider-Man on the PC or something like that? Like games that are already out.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's
Or Last of
maybe
Us,
not impossible for some stuff like that to happen.
Sure.
Well after the fact, I would guess. And there's another quote that a lot of outlets pulled out of this report, where they cite what they call competition from online PC games and players from other industries as kind of one of their main concerns, one of their main competitors. So they seem increasingly aware of the PC as a platform. Seem to be thinking about that stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
Phones probably roll into that too, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know they've said they're still kind of posturing as a console first business, of course, but it seems like
their whole playbook really reads like, hey, we're doing this again.
Yeah, the whole we believe in generations thing.
Yeah.
Seems pretty much in that direction. But let's see. I think that's all the big PS5 stuff for the week. I guess I'll mention this. I had this story and then I dropped it. But there was a Ubisoft support page that went up yesterday that addressed what read like very backwards compatibility on the PS5 in terms of PS1, 2, and 3. That everybody, like all the blogs, picked up, and they were like, PS5 can't run PS1, 2, and 3 games, because the wording was something along the lines of, your Ubisoft PS4 games will work on the PS5, games from the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 will not, or something along those lines. And everybody picked that up and said, like, this proves it, there's no backwards compatibility for those old systems. But then, as of last night, I went back to that support page again, and that entire page had been scrubbed and completely rewritten to remove all of that language. So I don't think that's what they were actually saying with that stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, don't you think if the PlayStation 5 was going to do that, don't you think they would have said that by now?
Probably, yes.
It's September. Yeah. It's fucking September.
Yeah, like the last time they could announce that is when they really announced the release or the pricing and release date at this point.
Yeah.
Does Sony have another event planned where they would do an announcement
they
for price?
haven't announced any dates or anything. The current word on Microsoft is that Lockhart announcement is supposed to happen in September at some point.
Oh, gosh.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's still floating around out there, but no date or anything on another Sony announcement. But yes, like if they had that stuff, they would have said it by now. I'm almost positive.
It seems like that would have been, because like if you think about the messaging around that, like if you're going to go all the way back to the PlayStation 1, like your messaging very much comes back around to just like the legacy of the PlayStations. Like from minute one, it's not check out our ear sound. It's we've been in this business for a long time, and now you can enjoy the rich history. Blah 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 blah.
That would have been
instead. It's like, You can enjoy the rich history of these PS2 games we've decided to sell you digitally on the PS4 that will run on your PlayStation 5. Congratulations.
Yes, I would expect that strategy to continue ad nauseum.
We have a backwards compatibility plan for you. It's called the PlayStation Store.
It's called Buy the Games Again.
Yeah.
But again, I really don't think that's what that Ubisoft support page was getting at, because it seemed much more about like upgrading PS4 games to PS5 and just trying to like make it clear like, hey, PS3 games do not also come over. So let's see. In Microsoft news, Joe Staten has joined 343 Industries to work on Halo Infinite. If you know much about the history of Bungie, he was one of the head creatives from the Marathon through Destiny era at Bungie.
Oh wow. That's old school.
He was, yes.
Yeah.
He was,
So they brought in a closer, huh?
He was basically, yeah, pretty much. Like he was one of the head writers and kind of creatives on pretty much the entirety of Halo at Bungie.
And then he left like before Destiny. Like he worked a lot on Destiny, but left before it shipped, right?
According to all the behind-the-scenes reporting that came out on Destiny, he was kind of the architect or one of the architects of the world of Destiny, but he left when the whole thing got like, turned upside down and remade, if you remember.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was the, like when I went up there,
Yeah.
he was the guy standing there saying like, we want every gun to have a story, and then all like gave this big, long, passionate speech about that, and then the game comes out, and you're like, what's the story of your gun? It dropped from the same activity you got it from. Cool, awesome.
I got it
Did
out
you
of
get a better roll on it than I did? Yes. Fuck.
I got it out of that loot cave.
Right.
Just like everybody else
shot
did.
into the loot cave, and then
The loot cave is kind of amazing to me. But anyway, he supposedly he helped outline the world of Destiny, but then there was a bunch of internal strife, and he left, and then they kind of took all the pieces and rearranged stuff, and that's why.
And that game was a
mess.
He didn't get in fist fights on his way out, right? That wasn't him.
So I'm pretty sure that was somebody else. Okay. But anyway, yeah, he is at 343.
Because he left Bungie and went to Microsoft, right? And he was working on non-Halo related projects.
I believe that's the case. I think that's right. Although I guess he just helped launch Tell Me Why, the new Don't Nod kind of narrative adventure. I think probably as a consultant from the sound of it, but the the language from Microsoft is for a bit. He will be returning home to Halo for a bit.
Oh
For a
boy.
bit.
Which sounds like until it launches.
Quick spell.
Yeah.
They say he will be working on the campaign. So.
Wow. I wonder. Yeah. Well. They have to have. I mean, they couldn't have seen the reaction to the trailer stuff coming.
No.
And then to have the delay and all this other stuff, like it's got to be like scramble.
Yeah.
Well, like we've been saying for a while, it's like they can't afford to fuck up Halo again.
Exactly.
So, sure.
Yeah, I don't know
The closer.
I don't know what it says about the state of that game, but this sounds promising.
I mean, it was either him or the Benz, right?
I guess.
Right.
Yeah. So that's happening. Let's see here. So yeah, like I mentioned before, Apple has gone ahead and terminated Epic Games App Store account or developer account.
They mad?
So you cannot download anything made by Epic from the App Store at this point. Not just Fortnite. Like Infinity Blade or anything else they've put out under.
Infinity Blade never came out. They canceled it.
Wait.
Didn't it? Yeah, that was stickers for Infinity Blade got put up on the store.
Did it?
Or something like that. But Infinity Blade... No, I'm sorry, not Infinity Blade. What am I thinking of? Infinity Blade Dungeons or whatever. There was the RTS game that they were working on. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Infinity Blade, that's
Okay.
the Punch-Out game.
Yes. I think they made
Yes, those shipped.
two or three of those, actually, yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I didn't go check, but my understanding is even those are unavailable at this point. Yeah, was it last week? I think we talked about that initial hearing where the court forbade Apple from terminate. I don't know what all the different types of Apple accounts we're talking about here are called, but the court forbade Apple from terminating whatever account it is that allows Epic to distribute and support the Unreal Engine on Apple platforms.
Yeah.
They can't do that because that's going to pull the rug out from under anybody who uses the Unreal Engine on an Apple platform, period. Mm-hmm. So they can't do that, but they could do this. They could essentially stop Epic from distributing any of its own products on Apple platforms.
And Epic was basically, had already started posturing like, okay, we're going to push an update for Fortnite, and we want you to know that it's not going to work on your iPhone. So, they even had a thing. They were like, "This is your last chance to play together, and then you should get a Switch or something."
Yeah.
Like it was just whatever. Like that whole thing.
Kind of shitty.
Yeah. So that's the current state of that stuff.
And people have been like live streaming the hearings, which I don't think is like legal or something, but I feel like there's been just a ton of like bootleg streams of people.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's what I heard was you were absolutely not supposed to do that, which stopped nobody.
Yeah.
So it's a strange world. Strange times.
Strange times.
Hmm?
We don't hear about Google's role in it. I don't know what's happening. I wonder what's happening on that side of things, because obviously, like, Google pulled it also.
Yeah, you know what? I got an email about exactly that, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull it up here, rather than save it for the end of the show. It's from Paul in Pennsylvania. What if Google had pulled Fortnite first? What if Apple had taken a few weeks to act against Epic? Did Epic have a scathing takedown video of Google ready to go? What do you think would have been in that video?
They just swapped out the assets. Well, no, because you would have had a different video. You wouldn't have had the 1984 one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would not have been as relevant there. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it was probably a pretty safe bet that Apple was going to pounce first.
Yeah.
Knowing how Apple do. But it was the same day, right? Didn't Google also pull it the same day?
Yes, it was some hours later,
Yeah.
but it was definitely the same day.
Yeah. So
It's collusion, man.
I'm sure.
They told them, but I guess the story is that like Epic let Apple know, like, hey, we intend to do this, and they said, hey, don't, and they said, no, we're gonna.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't get it.
I mean, they want to fight the fight about the 30%. They want a bigger chunk of revenue.
Yeah.
And that's something that could potentially help other devs and all that other stuff and change the nature of that closed platform and all that other stuff. But the way they're going about it is like, obnoxious, I guess, in some ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Strange times.
yes, strange times indeed. Ridley Scott agrees with you. Famed director.
Yeah, Ridley and I, we talk.
Y'all are tight.
Famed,
Yeah.
Collusion.
Yes.
Collusion.
Famed director.
He calls
of
me Kraid.
Alien, Gladiator. Some films you have heard of.
Sure.
Alien
And
and
also-
Gladiator.
And also
Those are the only two films I've heard of.
and also the Apple 1984 commercial, which
Right.
I had completely forgotten he directed that, but he totally did. IGN got a hold of him and asked him about this video that Epic
boy.
put out.
And he's like, what?
I'm just gonna read his response to them. They asked him if he had seen the video. He said, "I sure have, and I wrote to them because on the one hand, I can be fully complimented by the fact that they copied it shot for shot. But pity the message is so ordinary when they could have been talking about democracy or more powerful things, and they didn't use it."
Wow.
He followed up by saying, "I think the animation was terrific. The idea was terrific. The message was
Man.
So
All right.
fully
Sounds like someone still wants to work for Apple, right? He knows where his bread is buttered.
Yeah, I can't help but
Oh,
agree.
whatever. I'm sure, like these days, he'd probably be more likely to interact with Unreal Engine on a film set. than-
Sure, yeah. Totally. Yes, I can't help but agree with him on that stuff. I guess while we're talking about celebrities, the Gamescom opening night live thing happened last week. And I don't
Yeah,
feel
we
like-
got Doc Brown.
That's right. Speaking I totally forgot. God. Yes.
How could you forget? Oh my God.
Christopher
That was the
Lloyd.
highlight of that.
Christopher Lloyd himself was on that stream to talk
Oh
about
my God.
Surgeon Simulator.
He doesn't look bad.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad he
He's a
doesn't look
doctor.
bad.
Yeah, he's kind of aging into the Doc Brown role pretty well.
I feel like there's I don't know. Like I Christopher Lloyd's great.
Yeah, totally.
But I feel like there's a certain like game industry has gone back to the well maybe one too many times to have a Christopher Lloyd Doc Brown. Maybe it's just when they were doing the Back to the Future games, so maybe that's totally appropriate. But it just you feel like, oh, Christopher Lloyd's playing Doc Brown in something for some commercial or whatever. I guess it's not just gaming, right? Like it's just like, yep, yeah, he sure is. But that's cool.
Yeah. The only piece of news I pulled out of that, just because I think it's kind of impressive, is do you remember the game 12 Minutes? Which I
Yes.
believe we had
Yeah,
a very, very early unfinished of up on the site.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Cool idea.
Yeah. I I have not seen that game in person, but I know Vinny. I believe it was at PAX that he met with the developer and just like raves about how interesting.
Yeah, we had
it is.
them come in. He sat with Drew and I think, to record that. Yeah.
So that game's getting close to release, and they put out a trailer announcing the voice cast, which is Daisy Ridley, James McAvoy, and Willem effing Dafoe.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, probably a pretty small game, I would guess. Like in terms of
I hear it's pretty short.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
probably in terms of the commitment for those actors, it wasn't like a huge amount of work, so maybe that made it easier to get names like that. But like that's pretty.
Well, plus, everyone's stuck at home, right?
Yeah, there's also that. Sure.
Send them a voice booth.
Yeah, I guess mobile voice booth. Give them send them the bubble. But that's wild, man. Well,
that game
awesome.
seems awesome,
Yeah.
and seems like a great idea, and I hope that like this news doesn't overshadow the part where that game seems fucking cool as shit.
I think like
But I guess like this will bring more people to it.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully it pans out. I mean, I don't know if the game's good or not, but like it was like a really ambitious, cool idea done at a very like reasonable scale.
Yeah.
Where you could really see your reactions or your actions like make that world go in a ton of different crazy directions. So yeah, that's cool.
To me, this does not at all come off as like stunt casting or like a publicity stunt type thing. Like if anything, it just sort of it makes it evident how kind of innovative. I don't know if innovative is the right word, but you know what I mean. Like there's something very respected about what this developer is doing with this form of storytelling, that they can get names like this to just kind of lend even more sort of gravitas to it.
Yeah, I mean, if it pulls in eyeballs, I mean, that helps it stand out, right? I mean, we're living in a world where there's a ton of games coming out all the time, and 12 minutes has been in development forever, and like it's something that I remember because it was cool when we saw it, but like getting that to poke through is hard these days. So if they can say, hey, we got this, like that gives them a big leg up in terms of just like there's a hook for it, other than like, hey, no, when you get into this, it's really crazy, intricate thing that it does as you react to this murder, all this other stuff. But yeah, that'll get more people through the door for sure.
Yes. Like I said earlier, Ubisoft added again in the news. Apparently that Tom Clancy mobile game came out. I was not aware of that. Is that correct? It is out?
Which one?
Tom Clancy's Elite Squad.
Okay.
Let me double check.
That's that cartoony one, right?
I want to make sure it's actually out. I believe that is the case. Yes, it is. It is in fact out. So it came out and turned out to have a story about protest movements being a front for a shadowy global terrorist network / Illuminati /
Sorry, did you say Ubisoft or is this Call of Duty?
This is Ubisoft.
Okay. Because isn't Call of Duty, isn't all the Call of Duty marketing basically that too?
Possibly.
In its own way.
I mean,
they're not using the Black Lives Matter fist either.
No.
That's
Call of Duty is just hella Reagan.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the I guess the intro, I believe, for this game, uses the upraised kind of fist imagery that is associated with not just Black Lives Matter, but also
right.
A long history of struggling against oppression.
Yeah.
And they understandably have taken a bunch of heat for this, to which they said, we'll take out the fist. Which, great, problem solved. Nope.
Yep.
This doesn't actually address the underlying issue of what this game is about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, what are all of these games about?
Not politics. That's what.
Well,
they,
yeah,
they
definitely
said
not
it.
politics.
They said
Definitely
it.
not
They
politics.
said it's not politics. What could be political about this?
Yeah,
I think that the story of this is insane.
Yes,
I almost cannot believe that they shipped a game that is basically just an existing conspiracy theory.
It's a really you have to wonder. I mean, do you just look at it and go like, well, is Ubisoft so distracted with all of their internal strife that this just slid through without anyone giving it a closer look, or like how does this even fucking happen?
Yeah, this apparently was developed by an external studio, an independent French studio. So yeah, maybe.
And then there's that other case of just like I think once you get outside of the United States, like maybe that stuff doesn't hit the same way.
Yeah,
and,
it's possible.
There's a lot of stuff around that too that I'm sure could help lead to this situation. That doesn't excuse it, because you're marketing this game around the world. You probably need to do some due diligence and go like, okay, what the fuck are we putting out there?
Yes.
Is it going to play around the world? Are we okay if it doesn't play around the world? And maybe they were.
Of course, I mean, France certainly has plenty of its own current goings on with prominent protest movements. So,
yeah, of course.
Shipping a game like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
How anybody thought this was a good idea, but here we are. Strange times.
And what is the name? What is the name of it? It's Elite. What?
Tom Clancy's. I already closed the tab and I already forgot the name of the game. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. I started to say Elite Force, but Elite Force is a way better game.
Totally.
You're just shooting the Borg in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody can agree the Borg is probably bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it from the Borg's perspective.
Yeah, it's true. They're just offering a better way.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like any changes to the actual underlying story or writing of this game are coming. Just some of the imagery used in their video footage. So great.
Yeah, well, all right. Yeah, that
sucks a lot.
That super sucks. Yeah.
Let's see. Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix have put up a kind of a big blog post breaking down the kind of monetized cosmetic system in Marvel's Avengers, which comes out.
Oh, that stuff is expensive.
Comes out on a Friday. It doesn't seem as bad once you actually dig into this stuff as it sounds.
Isn't it for each character though? Or?
Well, it is. So the kind of the headline that got picked up by every blog and put out there, such as this one from Eurogamer, is essentially this: every post-launch Marvel's Avengers hero will have its own $10 battle pass. That's how they've put it.
Each character?
Well,
each character.
Yeah, and that sounds.
The characters are free.
Yes. So you consider multiple factors here, such as all of those characters are free.
Okay.
Also, if you put it in the larger context of games that monetize cosmetics, a single skin for an Apex Legends character is $20.
Right.
So it's a little bit less crazy.
I mean, I think there are games that are selling what way they would consider prestige skins, or just regular ass skins. Like the pricing is way out of control for this stuff. So this Avengers stuff, like you look at it and go, wow, this sucks.
Yeah.
But that's in line with that. The catch, of course, being that like they are selling Marvel's Avengers, whereas Apex is free.
Totally. Sure.
The part that gets me is that you'll invest like the $10 into a specific character, but so does your friend with the same character.
Yeah.
And then
you can't
neither of y'all can jump into the same mission now.
Yes. I don't think this is as bad as it reads on the surface. Like all the 6 characters in the shipping game, you get that quote unquote battle pass. What's the actual name? I believe it's like a
Hero Challenge card.
Hero Challenge card is the name of that system. Those are all unlocked for the included characters in the game.
And it seems like this is like a set of like character-specific achievements or something that is going to earn you stuff.
Yeah.
But for the non-launch characters, you'll have to pay to get access to that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
To which I would say, don't buy that stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't,
unless
if
you
don't
really
want
like a character, and then buy that stuff. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, the costumes are already like $14 as it is.
Yeah, I mean, that also raises the question of what is the value of the stuff you get with the Hero Challenge card. Like, you can look ahead.
And, like how good is the stuff on the Hero Challenge card versus the stuff that they're just selling outright in the store?
Right. Yeah.
Or is it the same stuff? Is it like, hey, if you pay $10 and play a ton of it, you'll get this stuff instead of having to spend this other money to get it directly?
Right.
Like, there are questions around that, but at the same time, all this is a lot.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of nameplates. I'm sure it's maybe an emote.
Ooh,
you'll maybe get a costume. I'm guessing.
Right. The last item on the battle pass is a costume, right? Like that seems like almost guaranteed. But yeah, the rest of it is like, I'm sure. Yeah, here's your player card. Looks like Captain America's shield. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, they break down cosmetics into 4 categories. It's outfits, emotes, takedowns, and nameplates.
Okay.
So, yeah, that is a good question. Like, I wonder, do you think there's more than one outfit on that challenge card
No.
per character?
Well, maybe you get one at the outset for like, hey, here's $10. You'll get like one kind of whatever outfit, and then the good outfit is at the end. But then the best outfits are being sold separately.
That's
right?
possible.
I mean,
That is
that's-
possible. That is possible.
Yeah.
But
like I don't mind the idea of like, hey, here's a character specific system of unlocks.
Yeah,
I think
that's
charging
okay.
for it is, a little fucked up. But,
well, and again, in the larger context of those heroes being free
Mhm.
and subsequent missions being
They've already
free.
charged me, $60 for the game.
Oh. Yeah. Well, and if you're looking at this Eurogamer story a little bit more here, if you're just too busy, you can also buy level skips for your paid battle pass.
Yeah,
so you
course.
can, if you want to go full fucking hat whale,
And I do.
and you do.
Do you?
Boy, that game. Well, yeah, I don't know. Are people are playing that game now? Is that like?
Yeah. I guess if you buy certain tiers of the game, like a deluxe edition or whatever, you get a 72-hour early access essentially. So I picked up like the $70 version on PS4, and I was able to play last night.
Oh, you're in.
I'm in.
Whereas like PC doesn't seem to have done that. So I wonder. I wonder if that's just a PS4 thing for PS4, but. Yeah, I don't know. That was one of those cases where like I did not much care for that game with what I played of it in the beta, but I came away from it going like, oh, I bet people are going to eat this shit up. And then like the reaction I got was a bunch of other people going, actually, no, fuck this game. Like people being way less excited about it than even I am. Which I did not expect. So I don't know what this game is headed for. I think it'll still be some big mainstream success.
Yeah,
because there's probably still some huge chunk of people that have not been following it at all, and they'll just be like, "What Avengers game?" I guess like they,
100%.
yeah. But
Very possible.
okay, people are saying that the PC stuff starts, or maybe just started. Yeah, noon today.
Okay then.
So I was checking before the show started, and it had not started. So.
Okay, I guess that's out there then. Yeah, I again, I think there are probably bigger things to get upset about with this than that stuff.
True.
Well, it's like an insult to injury thing. It's like, okay, here's a game that, well, whatever. I don't want to pass full judgment on it, right? But that beta did not leave me with a ton of confidence.
Totally. If you don't like the game like that, then none of this matters, obviously.
Yeah, it's like, but then to be like, but also the other thing I'd say is I feel like all modern superhero games do this out the ass.
Yeah.
Or anything that's like a big multi-character thing.
Okay.
Like Marvel Heroes, going back to even that, which, rest in peace, Marvel Heroes. Like that game was, by the time they were done with that, like you could grind out costumes if you worked your ass off forever to earn the whatever grindable currency there was to get it. But like they were, there were characters that would have like, I'm just guessing. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I feel like by the time they were done, there were characters that had probably had like 60 different costumes or something.
I could believe it.
Jeez.
Of course, like they're, and like, so of course this game's going to do this. It's an online RPG. You're going to show your character off to other players. Like it's a modern video game. Like, of course they're going to monetize this thing out the fucking ass. Like if you didn't know that going in, like it's smart for them to make the characters free. Because then you can get in there and get invested in one of those characters and go like, you know what? I'm going to spend this money on this. I'm going to spend this money on this. I'm going to spend this money on that. And hit you for all that stuff along the way. Like that's, I think, a fucking smart business move on their part, because I think that all these other, a lot of other, how did, Jason, you played more Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 than I did. How did they handle this stuff? Do you remember?
No, they just had
they just did a season pass or something, right?
Yeah, season pass.
Okay.
As far as I don't think there was any other monetization going on.
Okay. Huh. Well, maybe that's just that Nintendo touch of they have not
maybe.
figured out how to properly squeeze
Oh no! Don't say that.
the blood out of the stone.
God help us when they get to that point.
Right. When they stop fucking around with like Super Mario Run and go like, oh, okay, wait, this is how we do this. Shit. The fuck are we doing?
Because they will scientifically optimize it to the point that nobody will be able to resist.
They're going to charge you $4 for your Joe Biden Animal Crossing sign.
Oh man, yeah. Opposition party doing real well over there. All right. There's more news yet to come, but we have reached our first break. So let's step back for just a second. We'll come back and wrap up the news, talk about games we've been playing, read some emails, plenty more to come. We'll see you in just a minute. We're back. The times are still strange.
Oh boy, yeah. All the clocks in my house.
Yeah,
they're just like
What a
spinning,
strange time to be in.
spinning around and around and around. I
it's
regret.
got a 13 on it. What?
I regret to inform you that it did not get any better during the break.
But did it get any worse?
No, it seems like it's holding
Great.
steady.
Okay. Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
Awesome.
we're kind of stagnating at medium strange right now.
I'll do an air quality check here. We can see if we can get a good read here.
Okay. Yeah.
In the 140s.
Okay, that's
Great.
great. All right, we're sitting at 98 right now.
That's higher than our 1 week average.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Normal
Yeah.
Normal is
perspective.
like normal is in the 0 to 50 range.
Oh, okay.
The higher it is, the worse it is.
Yeah.
We just yesterday finished moving furniture around to vacuum up all the fucking ash that blew in
Holy shit.
through the open windows.
Yeah, I'm looking at my windowsills right now.
It's
just disgusting.
Yeah, it's bad news. You know what might be good news for Jason?
What's up?
There is talk, and this is filed strictly in the rumor category. There is talk of a brand new Monster Hunter game on the way to Switch. This is rumored, but it's coming from Dusk Golem, who has been extremely on top of accurate Capcom rumors for a while.
Yep.
So
old DG.
yeah, so let's say put it in the likely column.
Okay.
Probably.
So what I've heard is it's actually being developed in a different engine this time, like a repurposed.
It's in the
RE engine.
Yeah, it sounds like they've ported the RE engine to the Switch, which is what they used for RE7 and the RE2 and 3 remakes.
Right.
But he said, or they said it's very explicitly those Resident Evil games are not coming to Switch. Don't take this to mean that those games are going to get ported. In fact, they say that Capcom attempted to port RE7 to Switch, and they had trouble getting it to work.
Okay.
So,
I could only imagine.
yes.
Will this be based on the movie? That's my first
I don't know, that's a good question.
Will this be based on the movie? Because
Is it
that's
something about it being aimed at teenagers?
The movie or the
Oh no, the game.
oh
The game itself.
aren't they all kind? Well,
yeah,
it's not
you
like the
could-
games are super violent. I mean, you could make the argument that a lot of those games are aimed at teenagers, right?
I suppose that's
So-
true.
So I wonder if it's actually maybe it's a Monster Hunter Stories.
Huh?
Oh,
That could
yeah.
be super cool on the Switch.
Oh, is that an existing thing?
It's an existing thing on the 3DS.
Monster Hunter
Maybe a sequel.
Stories?
Um,
Oh, I remember that. Yes, right. Huh?
but I don't know if it's going to be a Monster Hunter proper. Maybe.
Jason, I just got used to playing Monster Hunter on a PC, and it's amazing.
It is.
I don't know if I can go back to like the preloaded zones and everything.
I guess
Yeah.
that's the question. Is like, do you think that they'll ever make another like old style Monster Hunter game again, or is it just all world from here on out? Like when they get to those types of games, so maybe that informs this to say like maybe this is Stories.
This is there's precedent for it. There's a large fan base that still likes those old style, just because they're so used to them, I guess. But or just because they really like them. But I don't know how big that fan base is, so I don't know how much or how good it would do.
Especially compared to like the world, I would assume like worldwide, the Monster Hunter World fan base seems like it would be
Yeah, did gangbusters
Big
for the
or-
franchise.
Didn't World end
kinda
up being like the highest selling
saved Capcom.
Highest selling
Capcom
Capcom.
game of all time or something?
Yeah.
Or something completely different. They've stepped out of the typical shell every once in a while with like Calico games and shit. But,
Ooh, sure.
um,
Worth noting, the world is winding down. It's about to get its last update in the
yeah,
relatively near future.
Yeah, October 1st, I believe, is or like the 30th here. But yeah, that's going to be the last and final update or free update.
Yeah. Who knows, though? Who knows when this might get announced or what it is? It seems like everybody's plans for everything are just out the window at this point.
Right.
Yeah, it's strange times.
Yeah, strange times. Weird. It's weird era.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Speaking of plans being thrown into chaos, A different leaker. It's Nate the Hate.
Oh, okay.
That's great.
Yes. This is I got this from Video Games Chronicle. Apparently, this leaker has been pretty on top of Nintendo rumors and leaks in the past. Again, though, take this all with a grain of salt. But we talked about the Mario's 35th anniversary or birthday is coming up. In fact, in just under 2 weeks, I believe it's September 13th.
Oh, I didn't get Mario anything.
Oh no, you still got time.
Still got time.
You got only 2 weeks.
I got time.
No.
What do you get the Mario who has everything?
The
Coins, just they can get
card.
whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
Get him a makeover.
Yeah. Yes. Give him a Nintendo Switch Online gift card. So we talked about this earlier in the year. The rumor was that they are remastering or in some way collecting Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy into one kind of anniversary compilation.
Nice.
I think it was a little uncertain how much work they were going to do on those in terms of graphical touch-ups or control changes or what form those would take on the Switch, but the word was those will all be going into one collection, and then they are also separately working on porting Super Mario 3D World from the Wii U to the Switch.
Okay.
Apparently, according to these leaks, the original plan was for that collection to be out on the 13th, less than 2 weeks from now, for the anniversary. But as of now, they are saying, and this would help explain why we have not heard Jack out of Nintendo in a while, that product has been pushed back into more of a holiday shopping season time frame. So
Still this year.
As of right now, they're thinking it's probably more of an October, November type release. And then the 3D World remaster has probably been pushed into calendar next year, is what they're saying. Apparently, in a non-pandemic world, the idea was to announce this stuff at E3, and then have the collection out.
The 13th or whatever.
Yes, in time for the anniversary, but that is currently not the plan according to this. So it sounded like, if anything, that compilation might be kind of the marquee Switch release for the holiday.
Totally.
Maybe they may have something else. Maybe they got...
It's September.
Yeah,
they may have something else. It's like really hard. It's really hard to. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, it really feels like we're at the point where like the wheels have come off and like everybody has finally just admitted it to themselves, right? Like this really did screw up timelines for everybody badly. Like there was there was no way to overcome the hurdles that this thing has presented.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's all time, right? I mean, games come down to the fucking wire all the time anyway. Right. So even if you've got like, oh, it took us a month to get our shit together, well, it's like that month is gone. Like you can bust your ass and try to make it up, but like, is that? Yeah, that's not going to help. Like,
also, they shouldn't have to. Like honestly, I mean, there's there is more to life than video game releases, and there's a lot more important stuff going on.
Okay, let's not say things we don't mean.
There's a lot more important stuff going on right now, and like they shouldn't like have to kill their developers and like like forget shareholders, like,
hey, I mean, this Tony Hawk game is shipping on time. Why can't every other game? I am dying to play that thing. That is, it's
on the way.
Yes, it's very soon.
That guy can still skate. It's amazing.
Yeah. God, what is he? It's like
with milk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is Tony Hawk pushing like 60 at this point? How old is he?
No,
is he not that old?
He's got to be.
He's
mid 50s at the latest.
Okay.
Right.
52.
Okay.
52.
All right. That's sure. I'd believe he could still skate. I don't know about you guys. I am potentially super excited about this Mario collection. Like I would kind of love to see what Nintendo would do with Mario 64 after all this time,
Right.
Yeah. Well, they did it on 3DS, right?
Yeah, but that was just kind of a straight port. Oh, it was.
They added the characters.
That was regular DS. It was a launch game for regular DS.
Oh, you're right.
That was 2004, and like they had the kind of touchscreen nub as analog camera control thing, which was not great. It was an interesting idea that was kind of.
It was cool that they could do it. It's like, here's Mario 64 on a handheld and on this weird handheld with controls that don't match the weird controls we initially developed it for.
Right.
Like all that other stuff. But it was neat at the time.
But visually, that was a straight port. So like, I would love to see what the Nintendo of 2020 thinks about what they should do with Mario 64.
Do you think that they
do they make it look better?
Do you think they looked at that fan port thing, that Unreal Engine port, and maybe went like, oh shit, or do they look at it and go like, we're right there with that? I wonder like if that
was that attempting to recreate the original game in Unreal Engine, or are they actually trying to make it look like modern?
It is that leaked out at some point. Like people were making that on the low, and then it got out there, and then people are modding it and reshading it and doing all their other weird stuff to it, and it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
They added multiplayer to that, or is that a different?
I don't know. I haven't followed it super closely. I've just looked at the shots of it and just been like, man, like that looks great. Like you want a Mario. That's the Mario 64 that lives in your head. Is what that is.
Sure. I mean, I guess what I'm really saying is, like, do they put out a Mario 64 with, like, say, the fidelity of Mario Odyssey? You know, like, do they remake it?
I would hope so, but also you want those physics to be those physics, right? Sure. If I can't play that game with half an A press, what am I doing?
Yeah,
you know, you want that game to be broken in all the same ways that game was, because that stuff's interesting and fun or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Like so I played some Sunshine a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Wow.
Strange times.
Weird couple weeks.
It's hard to see any sunshine right now, so I understand.
I know, yeah. More specifically, I was checking out. There's a homebrew mod for it called Super Mario Sunburn that I was looking at. I didn't get to the parts that were different because it was enough of a reminder to be like, oh, fucking Sunshine, God, who the fuck would play this? I don't think that's a game, like once you get it off a GameCube controller or an emulated GameCube controller, like the control of Flood could be done better and all that other stuff. But that's not a game that needs to be re-released or remade or retouched up or anything like that.
I'm not especially concerned with that one. It's kind of, if you want to put that in there, fine, whatever.
Sure. Like it's an intellectual curiosity at best. You play it and just go like, wow, they really, GameCube, huh? Kind of bad.
Portable version of Mario Galaxy, though, running in 1080p that potentially has the motion controls made optional.
Right.
Sounds fucking awesome, though. Like that would be fantastic. I am quite excited about that. So yeah, that's maybe 2 to 3 months away from the sound of things. It's September. Like it's 2 months. 2 months tops.
It's a month away.
That might be next month. The hell.
Or it might be never.
Yeah, who knows? Yes, this may not even exist. But
I'm excited about the 3D World stuff. Never picked those up.
That game's great. I streamed some of it early on in the lockdown. I dragged my Wii U in here, and that game's still pretty awesome.
Nice. That's the one with the cat Marios, right?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
That's a very interesting game. You know what definitely no longer exists? It's Flambeer.
Oh.
Developer of Lufthausers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ridiculous Fishing,
Nuclear Throne, some pretty awesome indie games. They tweeted, "Today marks Flambeer's 10th anniversary. We had a beautiful run."
Right?
Yeah, totally. We had a beautiful run, made incredible games, and worked with amazing people, but it's time for new things, so we're announcing the end of Flambeer.
Aw.
So they say, I guess they're
just kind of splitting up and gonna do their own separate thing.
Yeah, like
and they had been for a little bit, like even with Flambeer still together.
Yeah.
This Jam and
sure,
some other stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. They had one more game on the books called Ultra Bugs. Which has a Steam page and everything. They say that is still coming.
Oh, okay.
Ultra Bugs is still coming out. We will have news about that soon. We're looking into options for further support for some of our earlier games. They've also posted a prototype of a game called Flood, which they described as a decade-long, never-finished prototype. It's a game about dropping 10-ton cannons from orbit, all for terrible corporate glory. So that's
not the Flood I was thinking of.
No. Flambeer.itch.io. You can go and download that thing if you want to check that out. But Rami Ismail was always kind of the more public face of that, but I had kind of forgotten that another guy was also involved in that company.
Yeah, and he's the one who is working on Disc Jam and all that other stuff. So
they're moving on to new stuff. But
Good run.
They made some good games.
Yeah.
Some very creative games. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I love a developer where everything they do is totally different.
Yeah.
And they really nailed that.
Sorry, not Disc Jam, Disc Room.
Oh. Okay.
Room.
This Jam is a very different game.
Yes.
That's it for news. Speaking of different games, I guess we talk about the games we've been playing, such as they are.
Yeah.
Jeff, you played a little bit of New World?
Yeah.
Which is an Amazon game, is that correct?
I got into Amazon's New World. It's great. They deliver the packages right inside the house, and the cameras just you don't even notice them after a few minutes.
Great.
No, so this is the MMO that they're making. They're running a time limited preview through the 4th, I believe, and it is an MMO with more action style combat. You've got abilities on cooldowns and stuff like that. But it has been a long time since I have played anything that had a lot of MMO trappings in it, and it was kind of nice in a weird way to go through like a tutorial zone and go through like, oh, I'm gonna craft, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go kill 5 of these guys and get 5 drops, and like all the stuff that people knock MMOs for doing bad quest wise. Like, I think I finally hit a point where it's been long enough since I've really engaged with an MMO that it felt like quaint in a weird way.
Sure.
But at the same time, the combat is like, you know, you've got a stamina bar that governs like how often you can block, you know, with a shield or even roll out of the way of attacks and stuff. So it's, you know, you start out with a sword. I eventually got like a wicked looking fire staff that shoots fucking fire. And the combat actually feels okay and active for an MMO, I guess I would say. Like I think some people will try to say like, it's like Dark Souls, but it's like, yeah, you have a stamina bar, but it's not tight the way Dark Souls is. It doesn't necessarily scratch that same itch, but that seems to be what they're maybe drawing from at least a little bit. So it's like active abilities, like, you know, a shield bash that'll stun a guy for 2 seconds, but you're definitely like hitting the left mouse button to stab people or holding it down for a heavy strike, like that sort of stuff. And it feels okay. It's like a, you know, ship's lost at sea and you uncover this crazy new world.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it just straight up like colonial era, like Age of Sail type imagery? Like, are they just doing that, or
it's sort of kind of, yeah,
more fantastical than that?
But it is fantastical because I'm, you know, I'm getting a fire staff that shoots fire.
I see. There are full-on giant monsters, and
and you're fighting the drowned, which are, you know, these humanoid, you know, soulless husks things that, you know, are basically zombies, but sea zombies. At least at the outset. Like I said, I've only spent about an hour with it, but it looks all right. I think that lumberyard engine is capable of looking pretty good, and I came away from it going like, you know what, this seems all right, especially when you look at the bar of other Amazon releases. You're like, well, this is well above that. The what is it, the car game, the touring car channel, whatever the fuck that thing was.
Oh, yes. The Top Gear
British man driving game. And then the other game that they put out and then unput out.
Shame to admit, I can't remember the name of that game.
Yeah, no one can. Don't worry, it's fine. Literally, no human, even the people working on it, have probably forgotten the name of it by now. Maybe that's a dickish thing. I'm sorry. That's fucked up.
Look, man,
I'm sure there are people working very hard to try to salvage whatever that thing is.
Everybody's got it tough right now. We got to stick
whatever
together.
that game is called. Yes,
Crucible.
Crucible, sure, a very memorable name. Lord Shaxx. Everyone loves them.
Who is the developer on New World? Is it literally Amazon? Like it's not like a partner studio or something?
Yeah, I believe it is an Amazon-owned studio.
Okay.
I can search and see if they have a name of their own.
Yeah, like I'm looking on
on Steam,
looking on their site, and it all just has Amazon branding on it. So
yeah,
I think it
just says Amazon Games as the developer, so I don't know who that actually is.
So this is on Steam. I was going to ask. They're not.
Yes.
Not trying to push it through their own launcher or something like that.
No. So yeah, I don't know. Like it struck me as like this seems like something that seems like it's sort of on the right track and could be kind of cool.
All right.
if it's got enough content and all that sort of stuff, like the initial feel was good enough to go like, oh, with some tweaking, this could go places.
Oh, Bogart in the chat says that this.
Oh, is this the former Double Helix?
Double Helix,
okay.
yeah.
So
I mean,
original makers of Killer Instinct Season 1.
Yeah, and Matrix Path of Neo,
and that G.I. Joe game.
long history. This looks all right. Yeah, I'm looking at screenshots and it looks like I kind of get what you mean about like, you know what? It has been a long ass time since I played an MMO. I could see it. I could maybe put a few hours into something like that. Sure,
you should give it a look. It's not too bad.
Can you still
it definitely
play it?
got me thinking. Yeah, it's through the 4th. I think it's like for pre-orders or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, through the 4th, I think is when they're letting people play it, and it's still not out for a while.
I think I read that this is done pretty well on Twitch and so forth. Seems like it's been pretty popular, this beta.
I have heard that they have done okay on the streaming service that they also own.
Right. Huh. Funny how that works.
Yeah.
All right. Let's maybe keep an eye on that.
Yeah. But it also got me thinking like, God, if I in a world where I had much more time on my hands, I probably would have put 300 hours into Final Fantasy 14 by now.
Sure.
But now you can just put 100 hours into it and be up to level, I believe.
Skip all that early stuff. Yeah.
No, they've optimized it. now.
It's just they did the WoW thing of just this game's been out long enough. Now you level faster because we know you're on your 8th character.
We should all just get into it, y'all.
And we need to get you to end game so you can keep buying the expansions. Samurai Jack, Jan, they made a new Samurai Jack.
Yes, Samurai Jack battle through time, battle through time. Just like the show where it deals with like a lot of time traveling, this feels like it's a game pulled from the PS2 era of character action games tied into a franchise, and it's perfectly fine. Perfectly okay.
Is it a B game? Would you say? It's kind of what I'm hearing here.
It's a strong B game. It's a strong B game.
Right.
So they pick up where so Samurai Jack kind of got canceled and they came back for a couple additional seasons. So the game picks up around that time. And just classic Samurai Jack shenanigans of Jack fighting Aku and then Aku being like, Jack, and throwing him off into a different time period. So you're kind of revisiting all the different notable places that folks would remember from the show. So you'd run into the talking dogs, the Scotsman, Samurai, who you'd interact with, and he has like fun hip hop beats when you buy stuff from him. But yeah, it's a perfectly serviceable one of those where you can kind of turn your mind off and hack and slash away. It's neat because it has all the voice actors from the show. So Phil Lamar comes back. Greg Baldwin, I believe, fills in for Mako, who had passed away, for the game. And it's very bare bones, but there's a very extensive skill tree attached to it. But while you're playing through, they're just constantly throwing you the necessary little bits of XP that you need to unlock more little pips on the skill tree. The combat system also very bare bones, but you do have the ability, as you upgrade your skill tree, to switch in between different weapons, and the weapons have durability tied to them, minus your fists and Jack's magic time sword. And yeah, it's pretty neat seeing bits of the game or portions of the game play out like how they kind of played out in the show. Yeah,
sure. I was actually
it's got kind of a cool look to it.
Just about to make
well.
I was just about to make that point because I'm sitting here searching GameSpot because I am positive that I previewed at least one Samurai Jack game on the PS2 like 15 years ago. So A, they're still making them, but yeah, B, I was gonna say like it's kind of cool. We finally reached a level of graphical capability where they can kind of make games like this just sort of look like the show, right?
Oh yeah, it's I believe the developer is the same developer that makes the Naruto games, the Ultimate Ninja Storm ones, and those look.
No, I think just Shinobi Strike.
Oh, just Shinobi Strike. Okay,
I think so.
Either way, those games all have looked pretty dang neat for a while. They may not play the best, but I haven't run into any type of issues at all. It's been fairly straightforward. It's super linear. You do have the ability to revisit levels once you've unlocked more skills to find some hidden chests or whatever.
Sure enough, here it is. I found it. February 27th, 2004. Samurai Jack: The Shadow of Aku preview by me. That's a long history of Samurai Jack games. That's cool.
Yeah, it feels like a comfort food in the same way that Jeff, you were talking about. Like, it's kind of neat going through the early bits of an MMO. It's kind of neat going through just mashing on X and Y and just having there be very low stakes. It's also only $40, so and it's on everything. So if you're looking to turn your mind off or listen to Phil Lamar, be Phil Lamar as a samurai.
I think everybody
seems to do like a pretty good job of servicing fans.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a little escapism right now.
Yeah, man.
Jason, we did a quick look for Mortal Shell, which I talked about a little bit last week. Sounds like you played a little bit more of that.
Yeah, a little bit, but not too much further than like where you are. In the quick look.
Did you get to any bosses?
No, I'm not that good yet. I'm getting there though. Yeah, it is super nice being able to play like a concentrated, Dark Souls essentially. It's got that look, it's got that feel. What it's missing though is like multiplayer. Wide variety of weapons.
It is very distilled for sure, kind of scaled
totally.
down the way. I want to say, I have to pull it up. I feel like I saw somebody in the quick look comments saying they finished that game in like 1 or 2 sittings.
I could see that. Yeah, but I see a lot of people, putting in 18, 20 hours, typically for like one playthrough. But man, if you've got that amount of time in 2 sittings, more power to you. Jeez, I can get like 45 minutes at a stretch. Jeez. No, I like it. I like it more than I thought I would, because it's, it is very, very Dark Souls, and it's kind of derivative, in a ways. And I thought that was going to be, as far as it would get, is just trying to copy Dark Souls as much as possible, but they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, it's got some ideas. I will always remember recording that quick look as the time that we figured out getting all those discrete audio tracks in the video, which is pretty awesome. got our quick look mixed down on 1, got the pure clean game audio on 2, my mic on 3. That stuff's fun. This is way too inside baseball to probably talk about here, but figuring out the pipeline for stuff like quick looks behind the scenes remotely has been kind of a fun challenge.
Oh, totally. Did you play any more yet?
No, not since that quick look.
Kind of taking a break.
I might get back to it though. Like we got other games to cover and stuff's coming out and so forth, but
not a lot of replay value with that. I don't know. Like you get the 4 shells, and they do play differently because they've got a different skill tree. But there's only the 4 different weapons, I guess. So I don't know.
Maybe we should do quick look : quick look.
Yeah,
just do a quick look of us doing a quick look so people can see how we're doing it. I don't know.
Nice.
But how would you get the audio to be good on that?
Oh, that's a good question. Man.
You have a different team of producers doing that.
Okay, yes.
Right.
Get a parsec to do. Okay.
No.
All right, we're gonna run OBS in the cloud.
Yep.
Could you parsec something like Premiere or Audition?
Yes.
And then that was rough finding out late on a Friday that outputting the audio as FLAC inside of an MKV maybe wasn't the best idea. So I had to do a late Friday scramble to remux those files into something better.
That was a long night.
Telling you, man, FFmpeg is a godsend.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about Captain Tsubasa just a little bit? I know you haven't played a ton of it, but I saw that game.
It looks cool as hell.
I saw that game. Namco had a showcase event. This is how much the pandemic has fucked with my sense of time. I don't even know if that was this year or not. Like, it might have been last year.
I think that was this year.
Was that this year?
It was this year, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really?
I think you had to dip out of a Bombcast like ASAP.
Well, it was early in the morning.
Namco.
It was in Union Square. I remember I went on the way to the office one morning.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been 18 months ago for all I know.
Right.
I guess that might have been this year. I don't know. Anyway, it was kind of cool. It was like a very old school, speaking of like PS2 games, it felt like a very old school publisher showcase of just like, it was like just a unassuming, hotel meeting room with a bunch of kiosks set up, and it was just Namco was
that
just
has like totally been Namco's, like, 'cause
Yeah.
they've shown games at Judges Week,
Yeah.
so I think that's where I've seen
Yeah.
Namco events and stuff like that for the past few years. But it's always been very much just like they know what they're doing. They're
Totally.
like very low key, just like,
Yeah.
here we have
just like,
kiosks for these games. You
here-
can sit here and play them.
Here is every game we have coming
Here,
out.
dude.
Some of them are bad, but we're not going to say that. We're just going to set up the kiosks. And by
Yeah,
the way, we're publishing Rad. I don't know.
Yes, I appreciate a publisher still doing that because it's very
Totally.
straightforward and to the point. It's just here's our games, come play them. Anyway, making the rounds at that event, it was a lot of as you would expect of Namco, a lot of anime fighters and Gundam and but Captain Tsubasa was in the corner. And I saw soccer, and I was like, I saw soccer. I was like, oh, okay, they're making soccer. And then the soccer ball turned into a tiger or something. I don't remember, but it was like it very clearly went from soccer to anime very quickly, and I was like, this was definitely the standout game of that event that I went to. I was like, we should keep an eye on this.
I wish there was more of that, because I'm getting a mostly visual novel, and I don't know what the breakdown is actually, but from the little bit that I've played, it's been just text on text on text on text, and a little bit of soccer.
Okay, that I did not expect from because they were definitely just showing the soccer at that thing.
You can totally just queue up soccer as well if you want to do that.
But just like from the menu.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Just
Well,
do
that's
like
cool.
local play or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't speak to like how good the soccer is. I can't say that I've played a soccer game much recently.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun. Like it seems like a very arcadey version of soccer, and then you throw the anime theatrics on top of it. So it's cool.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it's just, man, I don't like going through the story, but that it's there for people. If you are into the anime,
totally found a screenshot of a dude kicking a soccer ball, and it is turning into a ghost tiger.
Right.
Oh,
So, yeah, I mean, at some point a while back, video games got very good at looking like anime. So, like, that's not new.
right.
It's not necessarily new or anything, but like, I thought the presentation on this is pretty striking. I thought like it looks pretty awesome. That's on Steam. I might have to check that out. I'm playing a little bit of
It's
soccer.
really bad on PC.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. So just be wary of that.
All right, that's good to know. It's good to know. Cool.
Sports anime is always so interesting.
Sports anime.
Yeah.
What are there any other good examples that come to
Eye
mind?
Shield,
Eye Shield 21.
21 or whatever. Yeah,
Huh.
that's football. That's American football.
Whoa. What does the football turn into?
A ghost tiger.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's just a thing in sports.
Yeah.
Yuri on Ice, chat says.
Oh,
Anybody?
yeah.
That counts.
Inazuma 11?
No,
Oh, yeah.
I do.
That's
They're
soccer also.
Okay.
I'll tell you, if it's got the number 11 in
Yeah,
it,
that's
it's
probably
a
a
soccer
soccer
thing.
game. Yes. That's a winning number.
Yeah.
Oh, ping pong is also great.
What's that?
Ping pong.
Ping pong.
Ping pong club, right?
Only game I've played since last week that's new is Windbound. I only put like an hour into it. I was hoping to get to play some more of it last night, and I didn't. But so I don't have a lot of experience with it. But it's like a Zelda. It's like a Zelda cross with a survival game. There's plenty of chopping down grass to make rope, and then combining rope and a stick to make a spear, et cetera, et cetera. But you're the girl shipwrecked on like a chain of tiny islands, and it's like very like first 10 minutes of the game you learn how to craft a canoe. So it's like immediately you're sailing between islands. Like it's very much an explore the ocean and find islands and weird shit on them. I'm not gonna quite say it's like Wind Waker, but it's kind of recalling that a little bit, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
The thing
that type of camera angle or like top down?
no, it's like it very much is a Zelda, like behind the back, like
okay, got
kind
it.
of get a little almost a Breath of the Wild vibe from the visual design and the presentation and stuff. The main reason I bring it up, and the thing I think might be interesting about it, is that it's also a roguelike. And they give you an option when you start it. There are two difficulties, which are survivalist, which they say is like the real experience, and then storytelling, which like softens a lot of the roguelike stuff. But my understanding is if you play on survivalist, which again they say is like the way to play, you die, you start at the beginning of the game again. My understanding is a relatively lengthy story-driven game broken up into chapters, and like there's a tech tree and all that stuff. but you full on start the game over if you die on the default mode, which sounds very punitive to me. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's easier to get back to where you were when you die than I think, but it just like that kind of permadeath, start the game over type thing works fine in like, quick, snappy indie games where it's, very run based and stuff. But this is just like the idea of something that is more exploration focused and with a big tech tree and stuff. Like, I don't know how that's going to work out.
Damn, yeah.
It might be the case that like you are getting certain knowledge that is going to let you bypass
it's possible
whole things or something like that. But I don't know. I don't want to guess at it.
I want to say that I think you like carry the item you're holding or the items you're holding forward when you die or something like that. There's a little bit of carryover, but seems like an interesting idea. I had hoped to put more time into it and see how that stuff plays out, but I will try to spend some time with that. And
any of you still fiddling around with Rogue Legacy 2 at all?
No, I hit a wall where I just was not getting any better with it.
Like, I think I hit the wall.
I think
I've unlocked all there is or a lot of what there is in this build and was just like, I gotta wait. I gotta not play this for the next 6 months or something like that until they get more in there.
People were saying it's like a world and a half right now, something like that.
Yeah.
So.
I think their next big update, which fully adds a second biome, is supposed to come in like roughly a month and a half.
Okay. Have they said when? Do they have a projection for the final release?
No,
Pull that
I don't
up
believe
and
so.
See, I think doesn't Steam require? Let me see. Don't they have like a how long will this be an early access thing? Sometime in 2021, they say.
Okay.
But don't bet on this, even if you're a gambling man.
Wow.
While we would love to give a guarantee, things change. So yeah, that could be a while. I have not played that game yet because I am terrified of burning out on early access games that I really want to play in the final, because that is a very pressing concern to me. So I might just have to wait.
I would look at this as more like a preview build or something.
Yeah, like I might be
go into it and just go like, here's a thing I can fiddle around with, and but it's got that vibe of just like, here's your first playable that they sent out to press or something.
Sure.
Like it feels like that.
See how it feels and that kind of thing.
Yeah, get in there, see how it feels, see how the mechanics change and whatnot.
Sure.
Check out the new art style. Yeah.
I mean, it looks great.
Yeah. It certainly does from the footage I have seen. All right. Well, that's all I got for games, unless you guys have got anything else you've been playing.
No. Avengers. Like, I'm playing more of the story mode.
Yeah.
Like, more than, what was shown in the beta, I guess. So.
When did that unlock for you? Was that last night?
Yeah, last night at like 9 o'clock or something.
Pokemon Go has added Mega Evolutions, and it's garbage.
Are you?
Yay!
Are you going outside to play that game?
So they've introduced remote raid passes, so you can safely remote raid in your car or any gyms that pop up nearby. And like the Mega Evolutions, it's similar to how it is in game, where it's a temporary evolution. But the problem is, you would need to do at least 5+ raids per specific Pokemon to get enough Mega Candy for the Mega Evolution you want.
Mega Candy.
But then after that, it's only a temporary type of deal. So cool, you can Mega Evolve Charizard, but it's only for like a short period of time. And I don't know. It's kind of a bummer. But it's a way for them to make more money, I guess.
They're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
All right. Kind of in a little bit of a lull here, right? Release wise, like we got.
Well, it's like Madden came out, but everyone's playing it cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, but like the lull is like, Avengers is not a small game.
No. But I mean,
and
2K,
those aren't
NBA 2K1.
Those aren't officially out yet, like that and Tony Hawk are technically out at the end of the week.
2K21. There we go.
And
those are
Wasteland 3
Spelunky 2 next week.
Yeah,
right.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But like Wasteland 3 is out, right? That came out.
Yes, Rory's been playing some Wasteland 3. Yeah,
Cool.
there are games for sure. Also, we should take stock. Should I just scan the release list real quick before we get a break? Actually,
All right.
I feel like with the pandemic and with just everything being all up in the air, I don't actually have a great kind of overall sense of the fall.
Yeah, I don't either.
let's see, Crusader Kings 3, Iron Harvest, Spellbreak that got
That's on Friday.
that got announced to be going final out of early access on. Or was it early
Friday?
access, or was it just a beta?
Which one is Spellbreak?
Spellbreak is it's the Harry Potter Battlegrounds, Harry Potter sort of, not actually Harry Potter. It's the magic-based battle royale game.
Yeah.
I played some of that on a UPF like a year ago or more.
Right. Okay.
It's like you drop and find magic wands.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
The Kingdoms of Amal are re-reckoning.
Oh God, right. Forgot that was coming out.
That's next week.
Yeah. Tony Hawk. Let's see. Spelunky 2, Crisis Remastered, WWE 2K Battlegrounds.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will they have
It's-
Roman's
okay.
new, we'll have Roman's new teeth.
No. It's also already dated because Mauro Ronaldo is one of the announcers, and he just left the company
Just left the
yesterday.
company.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Shortly after that, Mafia Definitive Edition's coming out.
Ooh, well, Baldur's Gate 3 at the end of the month.
Really?
Cool.
No.
Yeah, September
Really?
30th.
No kidding. That's not on this list.
Early access or
I don't know.
Is that a real date? Because I feel like when you say we're coming out at the end of September, which is the end of a quarter,
I don't know.
sometimes that's the
Steam says early access September 30th.
okay.
the folks at home are saying it's early access for Act 1,
Okay.
apparently.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's pretty early access.
Just want the game.
Crash Bandicoot 4 at the top of October.
That's not a real game. Come on, wait, stop making shit up.
No, we saw the guy talk about it during Gamescom.
That's right.
That's not real.
And then we saw his face again.
You saw
during-
Crash Bandicoot's face.
Oh, yes.
He was wearing a mask.
There's a Snapchat filter where you see like now you are Crash Bandicoot.
Finally.
Star Wars
Man.
Squadrons is out the same day. I
Okay.
totally want to check that out.
Yeah.
There's a new G.I. Joe game coming out?
Yeah.
Operation Blackout.
It's a
What?
game mill joint though. So
Yeah, it is.
What is Game Mill?
Game Mill is the publisher that published Big Rigs.
Okay. Boy.
There's an incredible like I don't want to call like so IGN got the exclusive on the G.I. Joe game.
Okay.
And had an article about it, and I clicked on it because I'm like, wait, this new G.I. Joe game. The article did not mention anywhere in it who is making it or anything like that. I had to like click out into whatever their like game space equivalent is, and then saw Game Mill and went like, okay, all right, that's, yeah.
Oh my
All right.
homies, this looks. Whoa!
It looks fucking pretty rotten.
Game Mill sounds like a pretty appropriate name for this operation.
Yeah. There was some other Game Mill licensed joint that I think got announced like last week or the week before or something like that. I'm trying to remember what it is now, but anyway.
Fuck is this?
All right. Dirt 5 is coming.
The fifth Dirt.
Gosh. World of Warcraft Shadowlands. The Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD remaster. And then Watch Dogs Legion at the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
End of October is like Watch Dogs Legion, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, new Dark Pictures game.
Is Watch Dogs Legion next gen out this year?
You mean like the actual graphical upgrades for next gen? I don't
Yeah.
know. That's a good question, actually.
Huh.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean that obviously is the current gen release.
Right. Which like maybe just play that on PC. I was gonna say like I like looking at it go like I want to play Watch Dogs, but not that version.
Yeah.
If I can play the other thing and hopefully it's better.
Yeah.
Maybe just playing on PC is the actual answer to that.
That's probably the way to go. Let's see here. Destiny 2 Beyond Light is out in November.
Stasis, is that the new power? Is that the new
Sure.
tree or whatever?
Probably. I don't know. Shadow or Darkness or something. I have not kept up, honestly. I haven't really played Destiny this year. The 13 remake
Oh, hot.
coming out in November. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, whatever that is. Oh, that's the rhythm game.
Oh, yeah. We finally get answers, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And
Yeah.
probably
Like the
12 more
answer
questions.
It's just like a door's going to open and like anime Ronald Reagan's going to walk through.
Oh, you're probably right.
It's just the hot thing for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Okay, yeah, so like unsurprisingly, back half of November is when most of the big games are. Call of Duty, Yakuza, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then Cyberpunk.
Right, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Oh, that game.
That hasn't been delayed again.
As of now.
As of now.
Still supposed to be coming out, and then
Right.
not a whole lot in December. Besides Puyo Tetris 2.
That
So that's that's the year.
So I saw someone saying that has like a Battle Tetris guide, those types of abilities in it.
Oh, really?
Huh. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So that might be one to
man.
watch.
A character puzzle game is something I will always take a look at.
Yeah,
For sure. Also, there's a bug on my laptop. Hang on just a second.
Get it?
you should
Smash it.
install a firmware update or something like that'll usually fix a lot of those.
Gotta be
Introduce a
careful.
few new ones, but
Gotta be careful with bugs on screens. I know at least one person who has had a bug get smashed under their monitor / laptop screen.
Noriega.
Gotta be careful about that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a ton of big games, but probably to be expected with everything going on.
It's like and then you lay on top of that it's a year for new consoles, and then all that stuff has gone sideways as a result of this stuff.
Yes.
Like it's weird at both ends.
Yes.
But
Also,
like that's a healthy number of games.
it's not nothing for sure,
Yeah,
but
those are games that I would be interested in playing.
yeah. But like what got
a good
pushed?
number of them.
Like Halo got pushed. Did you hear they delayed Halo?
Yeah,
strange times.
Yeah.
Halo got delayed. Deathloop got delayed. Oh, I didn't. Spider-Man was not on that list. I thought that was this year, but
That is supposed to be this year.
yeah.
But maybe with all, is there just like 0 next generation video games on the list you're looking at?
Yeah, maybe that might be the case. I don't know.
Yeah, like because like Bug Snacks is supposed to be this year, isn't it?
Right. Yes. I think so, actually. Anyway, video games.
Strange times.
Still coming out. Strange times indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take one more quick break. I've got a monster load of emails here.
Monster load.
That's right. I'm going to sift through those.
Ma.
Yes, just give me your best killer instinct.
Just,
Combo.
it's been a rough.
Yeah, I get it. All right.
It's been a rough week.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right, we're back with the final leg of the show. It's the emails.
Yeah.
It's my right leg.
Oh,
Final leg.
your right leg is
Left
your
leg, first leg, right leg, final leg.
Your right.
That's how I go.
Your right leg
Yeah,
is your
it's like
email
a
leg.
kata.
Yeah, that's my email and leg.
Got it.
Send an email to my leg.
Send an email to Jeff at right.leg.
Yeah. Skitchen.enthusiast at.
Oh man, I should check on the status of vanity top level domains. See where that stuff's at. Is there anything dumb? Is there anything really dumb out there lately? Wasn't there a .vodka?
Probably. I'll just go to this site and type in ass.vodka.
It's been a while since I looked into domains. Let's see. There's a .aarp.
Cool.
Ass.vodka is taken.
Oh. Oh God, are they straight up just?
Svedka.com.
Are they seriously just naming TLDs after companies now? There's like .amazon and .etna.
Yeah, they're definitely
Man.
some.
.alfa Romeo.
But you can't register those because
No.
they control the entire namespace.
Yes, of course they do.
Yeah. You know, the internet. That's
Yes,
what
that's
ass.camp is available. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ass camp.
You can go to
Come
Ass-
on out to Ass Camp.
You should
where we're going to play
probably-
ass.tennis.
You should probably register that as fast as you can because this is being streamed.
No, I just want someone else to do it. And like, can we just make a Mastodon instance at ass.camp?
Man.
Whatever happened to Content Town? I miss Content Town.
Oh, it exists.
Not the Mastodon instance doesn't.
No, but the domain is in use.
I had to move back. to the regular. Oh,
Yeah. I think Will Smith is making good use of Content Town. It's pretty,
I
it's a pretty,
doubt that very soon.
it's a pretty good use of domain.
Well, I'll be sure to
registration.
check it out.
Oh, speaking of
Content on.
the devil, it's one Will Smith is in the chat.
Yeah.
All right,
Welcome.
let's read some emails. I could just sit here and go through domains for the next hour.
Ask.Corsica.
Somebody, I shouldn't even say this. Somebody just said one in the chat that is available that I really want to go get, and I'm not going to say what it is.
Ask.Juegos.
I'm not going to say what it is.
Oh,
All right.
We got to finish this episode so I can go see if I
I
can
see.
potentially buy a domain I don't need. All right, emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. This first email is from Jeff in Boise, Idaho. Should Sony and Microsoft consider delaying the launch of their new consoles? We are less than 3 months away from November. Neither have put out prices, neither have a firm release date, neither have a particularly compelling launch lineup. On top of all that, we have a crippled global economy due to the ongoing unprecedented issues. Is this something they should do for the good of not only their own interests, but the industry in general?
Yes, just delay everything from here on out.
let's put on pause.
No.
Just pause everything.
They're not going to do it.
They're not
'Cause it
definitely,
doesn't
not,
matter.
If they delay,
they
that
definitely are not going to.
We'll still be in the same spot that we will be in.
They
2
could put
months.
it out and sell however many they're going to sell to people who have, not as many games to play on them as they would like. But at the same time, like, there will be decent sized third-party games on those platforms this year. Call of Duty will come out for that shit this year. Assassin's Creed, like stuff that people enjoy. It's not flashy. It's not some brand new IP. It's not some big first-party exclusive. But like that stuff will happen. But even still, they can ship them whenever. They could put them out tomorrow and like, fuck it, buy it, don't buy it. And they'll just market it when it comes time to market it.
Yeah.
They can always do their like hard launch, soft launch, hard launch, whatever they want to do. Like, I just don't think I don't think it matters. If it came out tomorrow and no one bought it because there were no games, I don't think that would necessarily make that look bad. You'd have some articles reporting on it that'd be like, oh, seems like people don't
Right.
care about video games. But like, whatever. As soon as there were games for it and people started buying it, it wouldn't be a problem anymore. It's like short-term issues that wouldn't necessarily matter one way or the other. So I think they can do whatever they want. And I think the real question is, should you, meaning anyone, buy one this
Buy
year?
one.
Like, that's the question. Don't just buy one because you're like knee-jerk, got to have it, unless you're comfortable with what they're putting out on it. And I think that's easy, except for the part where people are a little compulsive about this stuff sometimes and just buy shit to buy shit. But they know who they are as well, and they've come to terms with that in themselves by now, I'm sure.
I would imagine they couldn't delay them if they wanted to, because there are business expectations around getting return on that investment within a specific time frame, right? They've paid to manufacture millions of boxes. They can't just house those in a warehouse for the next 6 to 12 months or whatever.
That's
right?
true. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like
there'd be costs
share-
associated with that.
Shareholders are going to want, there are revenue targets that need to be attempted to be met and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
You
ball is in motion.
you can't just hold millions of consoles in a warehouse for however long.
Yeah, but I think if those consoles launch and it's not like some big blow away, huge big deal launch because maybe there aren't as many games there or whatever, I don't think that's going to like hurt those consoles long term because the games will eventually be there and it'll all work itself out.
Yes, it will be fine.
When is Grand Theft Auto 5 going to come out on? Is that launch? Is that close to launch? They'll just put that out on them and they'll do fine. People going like, well, I need to upgrade to this because the shark cards, whatever, and it'll sell fine. What's going to be the number one PlayStation 5 game? Fucking GTA 5.
I don't think
Fucking Fortnite.
I think it's 2021. I think is what they're saying for the next gen version of GTA 5. Is Grand Theft Auto 5 the first game to get re-released steadily across 3 consoles?
Minecraft.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess that counts too. But in terms of just like big $60 story-driven games, they just
One Will Smith in the chat says Skyrim, which seems like
yes, sure.
maybe Skyrim has been
Well, hang on. Is there a version of Skyrim announced for PS5 yet?
not
I
yet.
don't think so.
Yeah.
GTA 5 beat him to the punch. A lot of legs on Grand
Just
Theft Auto
included with the
5.
console.
Yes.
Why do that when people would pay for it?
You're right.
All right. Stefan from Lincoln, Nebraska. I had never heard this before. I thought it was fake until I looked it up. What I learned on the internet today is that the towers on the PlayStation 2 startup screen are a reference for how many games you've played and how long you've played them. The number of towers equals the number of games, and the height of the towers correlates to the length of time you've played. Did you know this? My mind is blown.
I knew that the screen evolved because they said that back at launch. They were like, hey, the PS2 start screen will evolve over time as you play more games. Like, I definitely knew that, but I guess I didn't know specifically like what is the representation as there are more cubes and towers and whatever
Yeah,
else.
I had to pull up videos of this because I was like, that sounds like some dumb urban legend that gets passed around Reddit or whatever. But sure enough, like there's video out there of like that start screen being absolutely full of these bricks, these giant stone towers kind of coming at you when it does the zoom.
Yeah.
I never owned that many PS2 games, so I guess I never saw anything like that because
That could be.
I just didn't have a lot of towers, I suppose. But
I can tell you how heartbroken I was after playing a demo disc and suddenly all those towers were gone.
oh no, was that
It was
bug?
like an OPM disc, yeah, like that for whatever reason it just bricked your memory card.
God, that's insane, man.
Sweet.
And I went from like giant ass towers that were probably due to like Kingdom Hearts and the Bouncer and Fight for New York to nothing. And then my world was broken.
No towers.
No towers. And I just saw like a bunch of corrupted little squares in my memory card. And as like a middle schooler, I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Right.
Was
You got
there-
hacked or
Was
something.
there ever any kind of make good for that? That's insane.
I don't think there was a make good for it.
Like,
At least I don't remember.
Like you can kind of assume people that are buying your official magazine are your most devoted fans.
Yeah.
And then you
I was
wipe
an
all their
idiot.
save data.
Jerks.
Oh man.
That's why I'll never look at Beautiful Joe the same ever again.
Yeah. It's pretty rough. Let's see.
Sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, that sucks.
Still haven't recovered.
I'm
Every
with
time
you.
I see blocks.
I feel your pain. Solidarity with for fellow losing all of your save data on a memory
thank
stick.
When we blew up the Minecraft world, it brought back terrible memories
Yeah, I get
of
it,
losing all my blocks.
I get it. Sean from San Jose. Alex said last week that the idea of John Cena as a movie villain was hilarious to him. Big Match John does, in fact, play an edgy federal agent guy in Bumblebee, the 2018 release.
That's right.
Which was a rather enjoyable spin-off from the Michael Bay Transformers movies. He was
Heard that was okay.
He was a character not too different from The Rock's first appearance as Hobbs in the Fast movies.
Okay.
What are your favorite wrestler movie roles?
Roddy Piper and They Live.
Right. That's it.
That's it.
Before I knew he was a piece of poop, Hulk Hogan and Three Ninjas at Mega Mountain or High
sure.
Noon at Mega Mountain.
Oh yeah, Kevin Nash is like Super Shredder.
Oh, yeah.
Batista's great in the Marvel films and Blade Runner.
Right.
Is he just an actor now? People just kind of forget about his wrestling stuff, and he's just a guy in movies now.
Yeah, he's probably fully transitioned at that point. Like, yeah, that seems likely. He went into the Hall of Fame, or he was supposed to go in, and that was the WrestleMania they didn't have, so they're technically all not in yet, right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Is Batista his real name?
Yeah, Dave
Okay.
Batista.
Okay.
They spelled it differently,
Okay,
but
he avoided
yes.
he avoided the Rock problem
right.
of
Yes.
Yeah.
of not knowing how to refer to himself in movies.
Of having to do business with Vince McMahon
Yes.
to have a movie career.
Right.
Yes.
Smart. Matt from Rochester. Unlike most fighting games, Killer Instinct on the SNES does not have traditional rounds. When your health bar is depleted, the match pauses and you get a second health bar filled. Was this the first fighting game to do this? Also, is this one of the things you do not like about Killer Instinct?
That's why I love Killer Instinct.
Did the arcade version not do that?
The arcade version also did.
It does?
that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's technically rounds. It's just you don't get your health back for round two.
Right,
Like if
right.
you win the round, your health is still depleted. So
So you end up in a
And
weird situation where like the round ends, and if the other person is almost dead, that
a round ends again immediately.
That round
Yeah.
lasts 5 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird format, but it's like kind of the same thing otherwise, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's just kind of that game's great, by the way.
Yeah.
on the Super Nintendo, like it was a cool port. Yeah.
They pulled it off. Like it was probably a hard game to put on that platform, but they Donkey Kong Country'd it up and made it happen.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Yep. Let's see. Chemo from Phoenix, Arizona. What makes for good climbing in a game? I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now, and I don't particularly like traversing cliffs in that game. I did like Uncharted for whatever reason, but I understand the common criticism that you're basically just mashing X. Yep. So what makes for good climbing in your opinion?
A stamina bar.
Kinda.
Breath of the Wild.
I want to do pull-ups until I have infinite stamina. That's I think stakes, right? Fail states like that are interesting, or like, can you make it like a puzzle or something? I don't know. Maybe that gets tired. Maybe that gets boring too. But I think the problem with Uncharted and even Ghost of Tsushima in a lot of ways is just like, you see the path. It's not engaging.
There's
to
nothing.
take it.
There's nothing there. It is just you're just going through the exact motions they laid out for you to go through.
Yeah.
I like the climbing in Shadow of the Colossus a lot.
Okay.
Just being able to like grab onto little bits of hair or like the little lips on like the armor bits on the Colossi.
Something skill
Dragon's
based.
Dogma.
Yeah, sure.
Crazy ass weird climb. It's creepy. Looks wrong.
Something that's got an element of skill to it and that gives you some freedom to both explore but also fail. Like Breath of the Wild is a good example. I mean, regardless of how you feel about that stamina meter.
Sure.
But just letting you climb anywhere, like gating your access to climbing a different way than just saying this is the only way you can go, is
that's a good point.
Yeah, that's the way forward for me. I'd like to see some other games build on that stuff.
Go Home, I like a lot also.
Oh yeah, totally. Like that is actually the best example I can think of. You know, like a two-hand system, like where you've got actual physics involved and you're like fully interacting with the terrain. Like that's
like a Gang Beast style.
Yeah.
Of climbing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Grow Home. Yeah. Grow Home is basically Gang Beasts, but for climbing.
Right.
Were there ever any good VR climbing games, Jeff?
There's that one. I think Crytek did it. Right? It's just called The Climb, and it's a lot of like hand over hand type. Like but even that is like very much like, this is kind of the path. Like there's some alternate paths that are maybe a little trickier. That are just going to be like a sort of a shortcut. But the game is all about you climbing to the top or climbing to the goal.
Okay.
And it's like mechanically all right. I just didn't find it engaging as a video game like at all. It was just like you look at it and go like, okay, I guess I just got to do this. It's like a racing game almost.
Oh,
it's weird.
Mount Your Friends.
There you go.
It's a good climbing game.
It's
You
great.
need some good momentum.
Sure.
You're not wrong.
It's a great flinging game.
Yeah.
I feel like the second one kind of came and went.
The 3D one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that one did not get the traction that the first one did.
It did not Risk of Rain 2 it.
No. Well, now I guess I have to read the Risk of Rain 2 email. Rob from Austin. I sat down the other day on my day off and decided I wasn't going to stop playing Risk of Rain 2 till I beat it. 11.5 hours later, I did the deed and streamed the whole thing too.
Nice.
What's the most grueling ordeal you've put yourself through in your gaming career? Winding up the Flying Shy Guy in the N64 Mario Party until my palms were blistered is probably a close second for me. I would say that Mario Party definitely factors into more than one of those for me.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Oh, God. Ugh. And then, of course, the Call of Duty 4 Mile High Club is up there as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I was going to say, like, the first thing that came to mind but I don't know if it qualifies, was like the weird marathon review process for Ocarina of Time that I went through, of like having to play that over like part of a weekend or whatever. That was a little weird.
That sounds like a lot to me.
I didn't sleep much. It was
maybe that game's not as long as I remember, but
it's I like I said, I did not sleep much. And then I had to write that review on the Sunday so that it could run Monday. It was
dang,
the way it was meant to be played.
Yep.
Sure.
That sucks.
Sure. Oh man.
You know what? I loved it. I loved every fucking minute of
Yeah,
it.
that is fucking.
Except for getting stuck when you're on a deadline and being like,
Yeah.
and not knowing that you needed to shoot an arrow into the sun was specifically the thing that I was just like, what the fuck? But to like get the fire arrows or whatever it was,
Did you
it was a nightmare.
Into hotline or?
Yeah, it was like, I called my uncle. He works there. He told me some stuff.
Yep, it's the best thing.
He said URA Zelda is going to really fucking blow you away. I'm like, what is that?
So people in chat mentioned Destiny raiding, which
Yeah,
more than one of the Destiny raids I've done have been pretty sweaty in more ways than one. Just sitting there for 6 to 10 hours gets pretty grimy after a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ryan says g'day from Melbourne, Australia. My favorite day is Wednesday because I can listen to Brad tell me it's Tuesday. That's a time zone joke for the guys at the back.
I love it.
Can you rank the days from best to worst? I got to go Saturday number one.
Number one.
What else are you gonna say?
I really like Thursdays.
I like that Friday because you get that really nice high around 5 or 6.
Yeah, but you still have to go to work though.
Yeah, you still have to go to work, but I think that peak.
I get the appeal. I get the appeal for sure.
Right.
But you will never be more free than you are on a Saturday morning.
Right.
And
Friday's exciting.
yeah, I get it. I could see Friday as a strong number 2.
It's so exciting. They named a restaurant after the feeling of it being Friday.
Yes.
It does have a whole thing.
People like Friday so much they thank divine power for it.
Right.
I like Tuesdays because we get to record the show.
Okay.
Aww.
Sure.
Yay.
Thursday is kind of whatever.
Tuesdays, I also like Tuesdays because Popeyes used to have the good deal for chicken, but now it's an okay deal for chicken.
No. I mean Taco Tuesday.
That's true. It's true.
Was Monday a dead last year?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
You know I hate them.
You know who else hates Mondays?
Our next emailer? No, who? I don't. That's
Vinny, I think, said one time. That's who. Definitely. That's the only person that comes to mind. Certainly nobody else.
I wouldn't even dare to guess.
Yeah. Let's see. Cody in Davenport, Iowa. On episode 645, you had a discussion on the sport of skee-ball. Is skee-ball a sport?
Sure.
Does that count as a sport?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably on ESPN too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I bet it is. This led me to a discussion I had with my wife. My strategy for skee-ball has been to roll the ball to the left, banking it off the side, and hopefully into a higher scoring ring. This has not led to me being a pro-level player, but has increased my score.
Okay.
My wife has told me this is cheating and goes against the idea of the game, and she's doubly annoyed because it occasionally leads me to roll the ball out of the course entirely.
Oh.
What are your thoughts? Is this a legitimate strategy, or am I bastardizing the great sport of skee-ball?
I feel like that's the strategy.
Yeah, it's, that course is there.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you're fully within your rights to use it as you see fit.
I've never tried it though.
Ain't nothing wrong with
I'm always a roll towards, but I've tried to put spin on it.
Yeah. Put a little English on there. No.
Yeah.
If you're a little kid, go ahead.
It's like saying throws are cheap. It's just, it's in the game.
Yeah.
It's in the game. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a bank shot, I don't think.
Yeah, unlike bowling, the skee ball doesn't ping you if you stand on the ramp.
Huh. Okay.
So you can just walk right up to that bad boy.
I suppose that's true. Right up until the operator catches you, does something about it. This email made me really want to play some skee ball.
Get a skee ball machine in your apartment.
I wonder how doable it is to have skee ball in your home.
You can get them.
I bet that's not unattainable.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if there are a lot of them made for the home, though. I wonder if you would just be like repurposing. You have to go find a out of business Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Right. I bet that stuff's got to be all over eBay and other places that are selling arcade machines.
Probably. Yes.
It would be $500.
Yeah, they're not
Ooh.
cheap if I remember correctly.
Ooh, okay, I don't think I want to.
But here's a 4-banger for only $6 though. That seems like a good value.
I don't think I want to play skee ball that badly. All right.
Come on.
Nothing on Craigslist.
Huh.
But there is a coin op kitty dolphin riding thing if you want, Brad.
That's
How much for a smoking token?
just as good, I would say. All right. Lee from Yorkshire in the UK. Following on from the email last week regarding whether you could have vodka jam or not, so you could get effed up in the morning from your toast. I was at a gin festival in London last year, back when we could still do stuff, and there was a company there who made a raspberry gin. After they'd used the raspberries to flavor the gin, they then used the gin-soaked raspberries to make jam. Gin jam.
Gin jam.
My partner received some as a gift for her birthday recently, and I keep being tempted to have some for breakfast, either on toast or in my overnight oats. So far, I haven't, but do you think I should?
Yeah.
I'm not sure my life has hit a low enough point to warrant gin at breakfast time.
Yeah, it's, what kind of day do you want to have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you either need to dedicate yourself to be like, I'm going to keep drinking all day, or I'm going to just drink it first thing in the morning,
Then
and
go back
then
to
it's
sleep.
going to wear off, and I'll feel like garbage about at 1 p.m.
Yep. Go straight back to bed
Yeah.
after breakfast. See, this is why Saturday is the number one day, because you can have gin for breakfast and not feel bad about it.
Yeah, just keep going.
Like I said, you are never more free than on Saturday morning. I wonder how much of the booze is actually retained in the berries.
Right.
There's probably some amount in there, right?
Process is just like
Let's see. Ben from Pittsburgh. I know we've covered this topic in the past, but it's always good to give people a refresher who weren't around. I've spent the last week going through and disposing of a large pickup truck full of old newspapers. This is the 2002 to 2006 New York Times that my dad had hoarded and ignored for the better part of 15 years. I found a number of ads for the Nokia N-Gage and had forgotten this console/phone Frankenstein existed. Did the games listed for this thing get exclusive ports? Was this the first handheld with 3D graphics? Was there anything good about the N-Gage?
You could talk into it.
sideways.
The jokes were hilarious. And it was like kind of impressive to see a port of like PS1 and Tony Hawk running on a weird phone screen.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, like that and Pandemonium, and like oh, that's kind of crazy that they can do that.
Oh, he included some pictures of some of the ads. Here is a EB Games / GameStop tie-in for a $300 N-Gage holiday gift pack with $100 off at those retailers with this ad.
Oh, nice.
So $199.99 for an N-Gage and 3 games, it says.
That's not bad.
In 2003. That's $200 in 2003 money.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
No, $200, $100 maybe.
I don't remember. Was the N-Gage tied into a specific carrier?
I think you could get it on multiple ones, right?
Sidekick.
Yeah, T-Mobile the Sidekick was T-Mobile, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was just about to say that it was an AT&T exclusive, but I don't know. I think they sold a lot of them with just dummy SIMs, and you would just throw your SIM into it.
Okay.
But I don't know if it was locked or if you had to establish service. I know when they sent them, I pulled my SIM out of my T-Mobile Sidekick at the time, and threw it into an N-Gage for a while, and actually used an N-Gage as my main phone for a while as part of like I want to review this thing and be able to talk about it, but it fucking sucked. It was a shit phone. Like the interface for using it as a phone was god awful. Like that era of Nokia menu that they used on a lot of different devices, not just the N-Gage, I feel like was some of just the worst, like most unresponsive menus in the fucking history of phones.
Oh god, I didn't realize it still had a T9 keyboard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In my head, I thought it was like a fully fledged one.
Ooh.
But
Nah, man.
That was
that thing. Yeah, you're
fully the T9 era.
Yeah.
oh boy.
Yeah. Yep. Side talking. The side talking site's still around.
Yeah, I think so.
It's still up.
Yeah, should be.
Oh, site talking doc. Yep, it totally is. Wow. Basically unchanged. It's great. It's great. Okay.
Still has that picture of me in Tim Tracy's office the day we got the QDs in.
Yeah. It's relegated to history now.
Yeah.
Too bad Ben's not here to follow up on the AMV talk from last week.
I'm an AMV expert.
Okay, well, good.
Made a couple.
All right, because we got some emails about it. This one's from Nicholas. With all the AMV talk, that's anime music video, just in case anybody's missed last week or is unfamiliar.
Gotcha.
With all the AMV talk last week, I'm wondering if anyone would be willing to admit if they made any AMV themselves, and if so, what were they? I myself peaked at Love, Sex, Magic by Sierra and Justin Timberlake. Cut with Bible Black. It was sadly lost to time, but it was a high water mark for me.
I bet.
I did. I forgot the name of the anime. But it was set to the Snow Patrol's Run. Let's see what else. I made a couple. A Trigun, but there was no Vasha Stampede. It was just Milia and I don't know, but it was set to a Laverne and Shirley.
Wow, that's a deep cut. That's an interesting pairing.
That's about it for AMVs anyway.
Jan, you've got a pensive look on your face. What's going on?
Oh yeah, I definitely use Simple and Clean over.
Okay.
I used it once for a Naruto AMV, and then I used it. I don't know if this counts. What was the? I think the sitcom was Mama's Family.
Yeah.
I used it with that. And I used that. I submitted it to my editing class in college, and my professor dug the shit out of it. And I've definitely
Mama's Family fan, or
I don't know.
Right.
They could have been a fan of Hikaru Utada or Kingdom Hearts or all three things. Geez, and I think I used the Golden Girls theme for I forgot what the anime was. I think it might have been it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! With the Golden Girls theme.
Beautiful.
Okay, wow. Old sitcom themes and anime.
I spent a lot of time alone as a child just watching sitcoms.
I had a shot list forming in my head for like a Linkin Park Dragon Ball Z AMV on the heels of us doing that podcast. And I was like, oh, if we not to get to the hokey pokey there for a bit, is if Dan's going to stay or go or whatever. There was some time like, okay, we're going to get back into this podcast. Oh, wait, we're not. Oh, wait, we are. Oh, wait, we're not. And then I had a kid and was busy for a lot of different reasons too. But that was, I wanted to bring that back with, we both did AMVs. So like that was, we joked about it at one point during the run of the show of making them, but never got around to it. So
damn it.
Yeah.
All right. Another email on the topic from Justin. I've been creating AMVs on and off since the early 2000s, right around the boom of Linkin Park. I even made a video using real media. It was Orgy's revival with Dragon Ball Z. Unfortunately, YouTube isn't the best place to find most AMVs. When I uploaded old videos of mine, they were immediately blocked in most countries. One I did using Avenged Sevenfold and Advent Children got blocked in 47 countries as soon as I uploaded it. If that doesn't happen, most of the videos get copyright claimed, so the creator makes nothing on it. The website to check out is animemusicvideos.org.
Yeah.
Yes.
They still host videos and still have mine up from 2003 to 2006 and even release awards each year.
Oh, shit.
That site should give you a much better idea of who the most used artist is. So, there you go.
I have a new goal for this year.
You can do this, man. I believe in you.
Oh, I've never needed something more than I need to win this award.
Want it bad enough. I have faith.
They've got different categories and stuff too. So, I mean,
Should I ask?
Oh man, I need to explore this website.
Yeah, let's take some time to really dig into this. This looks like a deep rabbit hole.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the right response. While we're kind of in this ballpark, next email comes in from Raleigh in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is extremely amusing to me. Entitled, "In Need of Anime Expertise. During this quarantine, has the anime expert watched any new anime?" I like that they didn't specify who the anime expert is on the staff.
No, he is not.
Okay. All right. No new anime to talk about.
You'd have to ask the anime expert.
Okay. We'll have to get him in here next week.
Yeah.
Started watching Hunter x Hunter. That shit's tight.
Yeah.
Also, my partner started watching. It's like the Sailor Moon equivalent to Dragon Ball Kai, where they like uncensor a bunch of stuff and how it originally was in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an episode where like the little pink-haired Sailor Scout just has like a fucking gun to Sailor Moon's head. And we're just looking at it like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh my god.
It's weird.
Doesn't seem right.
Anime.
Yeah. It's like Brian Pillman.
You know what? The buildup of that episode was exactly like that incident
bet.
with Brian Pillman.
Totally.
Jesus.
Next email is from Patrick in Stuttgart, Germany. I'll just condense the email. Essentially, EA Play, which is what, God, I've already forgotten the full name of that service before. Origin Access Premier, I think, was the...
Sure.
Okay, you lost me.
Pretty sure Origin Access Premier was the name of that service before, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's called EA Play. Anyway, that's out on Steam now. You can subscribe to EA Play on Steam.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's essentially asking, with Microsoft's big push into the PC space, putting a lot of their first-party games on Steam now, et cetera, if we ever think there might be some manifestation of Game Pass on Steam, or how that would work.
I mean, they could, but I don't know. I think that's what they... It's this weird situation where they said, like, oh, we're even going to bring our games to Steam, and then did it at the same time that they were bringing Game Pass to the Windows Store. So now it's like, yeah, you can buy them on Steam, but that's maybe not the best value for the dollar considering the other option. So it almost, to me, the Microsoft games on Steam thing feels like an even stronger ad for Game Pass. But that's a reason for them to put Game Pass right there to kind of make that a one click away sort of thing. So maybe. Yeah. I don't see it, but I didn't see EA doing it either. So who could say?
I mean, it seems like it would get tricky with games that aren't necessarily publishing on Steam otherwise, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got to figure all that stuff out.
Right.
Putting those games out on Steam to me just seems like an acknowledgement that there are people out there that really don't want to buy games on anything but Steam.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, we might as well cater to that market too.
Yeah, sure. It's like, if people want to give us full price for these games, they're welcome to it. Hey, why not?
Yeah. This email is signed Viking804.
Nice.
And in the Metal Gear series, why does the Foxhound logo feature a fox instead of a foxhound? What is Kojima trying to say? Speechless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got nothing for you.
Hey, did you know that Kojima predicted everything that's happening right now?
No.
Yeah. The virus that makes it so when you talk, everyone around you gets sick.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolbachia.
Oh, Wolbachia, right. Yes.
Yeah.
He knew, man.
That's what it is. Aerosol transmit. Anyway.
Like to sprinkle a little bit of that on my eggs. It's really...
Yeah.
Gives it a nice umami flavor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No answers for you, sorry.
What?
Can't help you. Let's see. How about Skylar from Seattle?
Definitely.
If you were presented with these two options for becoming a ghost, which would you choose?
Okay.
Number one, You become a ghost who can wander wherever you would like, but without the ability to perform any physical interactions with the world. You could cause things like strange noises to occur or induce visions, but nothing which causes physical changes in the environment.
Okay.
Second option, you gain the ability to exercise all of your ghostly powers, from those non-physical abilities to being able to interact with the physical world however you would want. However, you are limited to haunting just one location for the rest of eternity. The location could be a home, hospital, school, stadium, etc., but you are confined to that space and unable to stray from it until the end of time.
Okay, what if the general location gets demolished and gets rebuilt as something else? I'm still there?
Yeah, let's say yes.
Okay.
That's the classic like structure on burial ground motif.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Man, that's a tough one.
Could you use your ghostly? I mean, you know, could I use my ghostly powers to influence what would be built there by the way I destroyed the old place? That's the thing I'm thinking through. Like, is there a process by which I could?
How creative a ghost are you?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Also, do I have to have died there?
That's a given, I think.
Yeah, that does seem like it would be part of the deal.
But whatever.
Because haunting a mall would be fun for like the first couple months.
Yeah.
Until the mall shut down, because all
Right.
malls are going to shut down.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
well, I'm the ghost of the abandoned mall, which is fun for the kids that keep coming in here to take fucking Instagram pictures. But
I think I'd want to wander.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Creepy as shit.
Yes, I think.
But then you're just like this infinite watcher. You just, I guess, like if you're into people watching, then that's
Yeah.
the choice, right? Because you
Yeah.
can go anywhere and watch whatever.
Spy on anybody you want for as long as you want. It would be
But
like
you can't tell anybody. You can't use the
I don't know.
information.
You can induce visions, though.
That's true.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one, actually. I didn't think about that.
Oh, if you can induce visions, that's the whole thing. You can, because you can induce visions to make someone crazy and make them do the physical things you want them to do anyway. So that works out.
Yeah, I
That's
think
the
I'd have to
answer.
go for that.
Yeah.
I couldn't limit myself to haunting a location where like people might stop showing up eventually,
Yeah.
such as a mall.
Right.
It'd get boring.
Yes.
Well, like eventually someone will build something else there, like an Amazon warehouse.
Yeah, and you can mess up the packages.
Exactly.
Spooky boxes.
Is that what keeps happening to the packages? Is it ghosts?
Perhaps.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Eventually, the entire world is destined to be one giant Amazon warehouse.
I'm running one.
We
You guys
Yes.
want some Amazon basics?
God.
HDMI cables.
They totally are going to fucking start crowdsourcing warehouse space, aren't they?
100%.
They are
There
totally.
was already a story saying that they were looking at taking over like a lot of mall space from like JCPenney and some of that other stuff to turn that into distro.
Are they going to
Take over Hilltop Mall.
Are
Nothing's there anyway.
Are they just
Right.
are they just going to start extending the gig economy into people's empty floor space?
Why not? At this point, why not?
Man. All right.
Okay, what if they did that? What if they took over Hilltop Mall, but also in the middle of it opened a 6 skate park?
Oh, shit.
Give back to the community.
That'd be tight. But then they'd eventually start training the kids that are skating to like, all right, hit this vert ramp, but bring this box with you.
Right.
Yeah. All right. One more quick email and we'll
And then
go.
they're using drones to put vert ramps all throughout the city.
Okay. Now I'm back on board.
All right. That's my pitch for my game. Let's get it funded.
Let's sketch the drone.
Okay.
Okay. Last email. Jonah in Boston. They say it should never be done, but nonetheless, it is what I ask of you at this very moment. Compare apples and oranges.
So one's red, one's orange, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Sure.
It could be a green.
Yeah,
Because
some
the
apples.
name is
Apple.
what it is.
Could be a green or even a yellow, let's say, on the apple side.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come out and say this. Oranges are not great.
Oh,
I don't. Orange flavor, totally fine. Quite good. Everything else about eating an orange is a huge pain in the ass.
yeah.
They're
Unless you get those little sweeties.
the cuties.
Tiny. Yeah, little
Yeah,
cute.
those aren't so bad.
Those are easy to peel.
Those
Oh
aren't
my
so
God.
bad.
Pop them in your mouth, little pieces.
What is the gross white stuff around the outside of the orange? Is it the plinth or something like that? I forget what the name of that stuff is. That stuff's gross. The seeds are weirdly distributed. You never know when you're going to get a mouthful of seeds.
Ain't no seeds in a cutie.
The stringy stuff, yeah, the cuties are
You
weird.
just eat the whole dang thing.
I think cuties must be just like genetically engineered to be
Totally
more edible or something.
Yeah,
I
they
fucking
have the potential.
apple is easy to eat. You just pick it up and bite into it. It's good for your teeth.
You gotta wash it.
You know where the core is. You're not going to get a mouthful of seeds when you don't expect it.
You gotta wash an apple.
That's-
Sometimes you get an apple, it's mealy. You bite into it, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, what the fuck have I done? Oranges
Apples.
are usually pretty consistent.
There's a lot of uses for oranges too.
I suppose.
Throw
Yeah.
it, make some juice, an orange juice. Use in carnitas. You're never going to use an apple to make carnitas.
I'll slice up an apple and eat it with peanut butter.
You could do that with an orange.
Has anyone ever made an orange pie?
No, but that sounds like it'd be cool.
That might be all right.
Orange pie.
It's no apple pie.
No, don't, Jan.
You know, apple pie.
I'm writing it down on the list.
Like you make a lemon meringue, but what if you made an orange meringue? Can you do that?
I'm going to say yeah.
I give it a
Yeah,
shot.
probably,
I give it a
right?
shot. Why has nobody tried that? Maybe it's not tart enough.
Someone somewhere has tried that.
Maybe. Somebody should make an orange meringue pie.
Yeah.
Let's do it and send it to us.
Don't.
We'll be the judge of that.
It's hard to send stuff.
I suppose that's true. All right. That's it for emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. Strange times.
Agreed.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, no after show this week with Ben on assignment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Ben's out, so we're gonna skip that this week. I'm gonna try and stream something this afternoon. I gotta not immediately following the show. I gotta handle some stuff here, but I might try to get on the internet for a bit a little later.
All right.
Because I installed. I don't know. I'm trying to make some changes to the setup over here, integrate this other gaming PC, all this other business. So I reinstalled Control, but I don't have my save anymore. And then it got me thinking, like, what if I played Control again? But also, I don't know if I have time to play all of Control again. But
Yeah,
but I do want to see the DLC. So,
Yeah, people are asking if we have played that second DLC, which I have not personally.
Yeah, I need to finish the first DLC, honestly. So there's that. But I'll get on the internet and do something. I don't know. I'm trying to kick the tires on some stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching live, stay tuned for that later today. We got stuff going on throughout the week. We got some play dates scheduled and some stuff like that. Quick looks and things, unfinishes. Video game coverage. It's back.
What? It never man.
It takes many forms.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's evolving.
Yes.
In
That's
these strange times.
right. Man, strange times call for strange video game coverage.
Yes.
That's my motto. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back next week with another Giant Bombcast. We will see you then.